Welcome back. Love Boat Project, episode 31. I am your host, Mike Taylor. This is my co-host, as always, Mike Robertson. Ahoy, Mike.
Don't you think it's poetic that the Halloween episode is episode 31?
Ooh,
I didn't even connect those dots.
Don't you also think it's poetic that this mask is just as hot as my Santa hat? All my costumes are breathing poorly. So,
were you cold when you bought them? You know, was it something like that? Were you like,
I buy all my stuff in February for the whole year.
There you go. Makes sense.
Voice a little better.
Yeah, I mean that tuxedo, while it looked awesome, was like $4.
Well, it also didn't go over your mouth.
That's true. Yeah, I'm sorry, everyone. That's even scarier.
And joining us this week, two of our favorite guests, two of our favorite people. Please welcome back Tanya and Buddy to the project. Welcome back, Tanya, Buddy. How are you?
We're good. How are you?
I see you guys are excited for the Halloween episode.
100%.
That's awesome.
I was hoping you couldn't see us because we're ghosts, but apparently
ghosts.
we're ghosts.
What?
Tricks or treats.
It's good. It's good. Just don't turn a
nerds.
Yeah, we're nerds. Yeah.
Don't turn a pool into a hot fudge sundae, please. Or do.
Oh, maybe.
This Sunday tastes like chlorine and somebody else.
I feel like I need to throw up now. I've eaten so much of this sundae. Oh.
Yeah,
so we are here to go ahead.
The illusions.
Yeah.
The illusions were the episode. I feel like the illusions made the episode. I mean, I don't know. Well,
I think the concept of illusion is maybe something I didn't have as much familiarity with as maybe I thought.
Fair enough.
In terms of, that really works like that?
Yeah.
We are here to talk about Ship of Ghouls. Original air date, October 28th, 1978, the Halloween edition. And we also like to know, well, what else is on? Can't wait to talk about one of these items. The first
item. Do you
think
anybody was even home? Like, this is the Saturday before Halloween. People are out.
You got to think that's the night, right? Nobody's like Tuesday.
In 1978, the discotheques were popping.
So this was this aired before Halloween?
Yes.
Yeah, the Saturday before.
Okay, and Halloween, what you said was what, on a Tuesday?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I gotta float away for a second. Ooh.
Ooh. Oh. So what else is on? CBS, 9 p.m. A show that we've grown to love, hate, I don't know. The American Girls. Except
still plural?
Well, yeah, because it's a repeat. It's a repeat of episode 1.
We've had 4 episodes.
That's a good sign. You're not coming back next year.
The American Girls did not have a Halloween episode. That's outrageous.
No they didn't even have an original episode 5 to put out.
Come on.
I lost
what is
the
this
confidence?
show? I've never even heard of this show.
Show called The American Girls. Random Adventures of American Girls.
They are correspondents for a 60 Minutes type show, and they get in crazy mix-em-ups.
Wait, what?
It stars the third blonde from Three's Company.
Oh.
We only learned about it in this segment of the show, and it will not make it to the end of our season. So
absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, not. But the real treat is on NBC.
Let me guess.
Go ahead.
Fat Albert Halloween special.
I wish that's what I have written down.
I remember staying up late watching that. It was so good.
Well, this is a TV movie.
Oh.
Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park.
The band Kiss?
The band Kiss.
Yeah.
The synopsis. The tale of rock band Kiss and their efforts to thwart a diabolical plan by mad scientist Abner Devereaux. Incredibly specific. I don't know. Who has found a way to clone humans into robots in his laboratory. Wouldn't you want to clone robots into humans?
Is it really weird to robots?
Yeah, it's not clone. Well, I mean, what year was this?
1978.
Yeah. Like didn't necessarily have a grasp on the whole cloning and robots.
They had it all weird. They had it all backwards.
Currently have.
Has anyone actually watched this? Because now I kind of want to put it on my radar.
We've decided that if this show ever gets popular enough that we can have a Patreon, we're just going to go back and do all these TV movies that were on Saturday nights because they're all ridiculous.
Yes.
Some home runs there. Let's talk about the synopsis of this episode. The amazing Alonzo performs illusions for his fans while neglecting gal pal Ramona.
Let's do it now.
Pretty spot on.
Yeah, gal pal.
We have an illusion.
Can we illusion performs illusion.
You want to see our illusion?
Yeah, I would love to see your illusion.
Ready?
Yeah.
We're not really ghosts.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
We are Pizza Man and Hot Dog Woman.
Thank goodness. We thought we lost you forever when you took the sheets off. Oh,
no.
It's like this is better.
It's like a nesting doll of Halloween.
This is spooky.
I was
right?
a little scared about the top of my my dog being up too high with the white sheet on.
Oh yeah, it really disguised your identity.
Yeah, it also probably would have not came out right if it was a little pointy and I was wearing a white sheet. I don't think that would be good because I'm not.
Yeah, probably best for everybody.
But now I'm just sexy hot dog lady.
Sexy hot dog, sexy pizza.
Yeah.
My costume is actually inflatable, but we decided probably not best to inflate
on an audio medium.
Well, no, for fear of floating away. Really.
Oh no!
Oh, good call. You didn't think about that. Dr. Dillar and his wife don't know that their son Bobby lies to get attention, but they do know, right?
Yeah. They also don't know that they're boring as shit.
Yeah. And he's really bad at putting on fake suntan lotion too, or sunscreen.
Yeah, put some clothes on, Gary Collins.
Come on, GC.
Am I allowed to curse?
No, that's suntan.
Sure. Of course. Yes.
Yeah. Another thing that I didn't notice is, what was his profession?
Dentist.
He was a dentist. Did he look at his fucking kids' teeth? Because they were terrible.
That kid's grill was...
Yo, they did a close-up, and we were like, whoa!
That happened quickly.
Yeah, but you know what? Those teeth prevented a death. So
those are the teeth of a liar. That's what they are.
Or a hero. Nah.
Yeah.
I'm not going on that one. So
well, we'll get there. I think
we'll get there. And Julie's friend Karen has scars plural, after an accident and is insecure.
Julie's friend Karen was accidentally nicked by a notepad. That's a paper cut.
She has a bit of a paper cut on her cheekbone. Okay.
She's not exactly the emperor with those scars.
No, you're not.
Scar?
Yeah, it's not Palpatine-ish.
Scar. No.
Scar.
It's more like
Scratch.
Frankensteinish, I thought. Like baby Frankenstein. I don't know.
Like they say,
that's why she was wearing what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
She would have tried to jump off the boat again if she heard that baby Frankenstein. She'd be
They said it was a car accident, right? That caused that?
Yeah.
Isn't that like a very specific injury that she got?
She went through the windshield.
Well,
only her cheekbone went through the windshield.
They didn't have seatbelts back then.
They had hot rods.
So
you think she nicked her cheek on the hot rod windshield? Is that what happened?
Well, I think the biggest thing we could use as a takeaway is like maybe in the 70s, if you're in a crash, don't stick your cheekbone out. You know what I mean? Anything but the cheekbone. If you're a model.
Or wear a hot dog, costume.
Or wear a hot dog.
Had it. I feel like you wouldn't get hurt wearing this in a...
I think what happened was she was leaning down to flip the 8-track. And she rear-ended someone and then
The ashtray did it?
Probably caught a bad one on the ashtray.
So when he did that, I thought he was going, she was going down, and that's what I thought. Right? If you read
that kind of show, good.
I appreciate the
Lord.
honesty.
Man.
Just saying.
Put a rating on this one.
Beyond
a lot of things to talk about with crazy Karen. Guest stars. Did you have something, Mike? I thought you.
I mean, not before the guest stars.
All right, fair enough. In alphabetical order, Iris Adrian, labeled as the amazing Alonzo groupie. I guess number 1 for lack of a better.
I couldn't give these guys names.
Not one, not a first name, nothing. It's so easy. She's appeared in over 100 movies. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Chart. What's up?
That's her deal.
That's her deal. Yeah. She only plays groupies in 100 movies.
What do you think she's in that Kiss movie?
maybe she's Abner Doubleday or whoever the evil scientist was.
Ramon
She also probably had the best portal we've seen so far.
Absolutely.
She did one of these.
That's what I want in a portal shot.
Big old wink right in the camera.
Next, alphabetical, and this guy had his own porthole. Fucking whoa! Sorry, that's unlike me. Bobby Dillar the liar, aka Charlie Aiken, gets his own porthole.
I mean, he had a lot to do,
but this was all he ever did.
Wow!
If you look this guy up, there's nothing.
It turns out he wasn't an actor. He was just lying.
He was just a liar. They just got him off the street.
Maybe it was his teeth. He couldn't get another.
He looked like every kid in the late 70s. He kind of had like a Jamie from Small Wonder vibe to him.
Yeah.
I get that. Again, nothing really out there on that guy. Barbara Anderson played Karen Williamson. Karen and I have a lot in common, or just one thing in common.
How old do you think Barbara Anderson is in this episode?
In the episode.
At the time of the episode.
I'm going to say she's 31.
I'm going to say like 26, 25.
Like,
people definitely looked older in the
I'll say 28.
Early 80s.
Congratulations, buddy. 32. Yes, ages for women are impossible to track on the show, especially this season. Like, people who are 45 look 65.
Yeah.
People who are 30 look 40. Like, yeah.
Well, the weird thing too, it is very odd, but the age thing gets weirder if it's just a single story.
To be
right. Exactly. If it's related to a man in any way, they're gonna mess with those ages. So fun stuff. Again, Karen Williamson, tons of TV appearances. I mean, the list is long. She's been in everything.
Good for her.
Again, Joan Blondell. She played Ramona Bevins. She was with the amazing Alonzo, not a groupie. Again, these actresses then would just be in every show. It's crazy. Just in the 60s and 70s, just one episode here, one episode there. It's just amazing. Gary Collins, welcome back for the second time. Dr. Dillar. This is his final Love Boat appearance.
Oh, he's good. He was so good in the first one. He was so not good in this. And he was just on the season finale of last season, and they brought him back already.
He was great in that last one.
He worked for Pat Morita.
Yeah.
As a sales guy, and he got fired. But Pat Morita said he heard that he had a black belt in hanky panky.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
They were on the ship together?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Takawara.
They worked together. Yeah.
Did he fire him on the cruise?
Yes, he did.
Oh, bummer.
But he invented
Oh yeah, he basically invented the internet.
Yeah, he invented the internet. So
that's right. Yep. Episode 24. Tune in, everyone.
Tune in. A very good one.
Hey,
we were fans of Gary Collins. Yeah. He just has that likable sort of thing, you know.
But when you get to his wife in the show, I will bring up a point that I think we have seen ring true so far in this project.
Yeah. Does it have anything to do with the Pillsbury Bake Off on CBS?
Not yet.
Okay, then. All right. Jane Keane. Let's just call her groupie number 2. Played Trixie Norton on the Jackie Gleason show. She appeared on the Phil Silver show as well. Stubby. It made me happy to see Phil Silver's name. Marianne Mobley, married to Gary Collins, played Mrs. Dillar.
So
let's get it.
This is the 3rd or 4th real life couple we've had.
Yeah.
Including last week. And every time the chemistry sucks for these people that are married in real life. It doesn't make any sense. And I can't tell.
Are you guys talking about us or the show?
Awkward. But Gary Collins.
Sorry, it lost me for a second.
Yeah.
Gary Collins was so good when his wife was not on, and then his wife was on, and it was just like, here's the most boring storyline we could possibly have.
Gotcha.
Almost like it was like, please let my wife on. Okay, fine, but here's some real junk for you to do. So
why are you looking at me like that?
Next,
hot dog's uncomfortable. I gotta take the hot dog off.
You gotta do what you gotta do. I understand completely.
I'm locked in.
He is locked in.
Well, it's nice. Some for the audio listeners, some for the video viewers.
It's a little something for everybody. Exactly. There you go.
Woo! I think it was a little hot. I think it was
next. Next, we have groupie number 3, BB Osterwald. Again, tons of TV movie. And finally, Mr. Vincent Price, Wendell Morden, the amazing Alonzo. Here's what I want to say. 2 things. Number 1, he has 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
What?
1 for TV,
really?
1 for movies. Yeah.
I didn't know they differentiated.
Is he the biggest star to be on The Love Boat?
I'm like, yes.
Up to this point? What do you think?
Well, I mean, that's a question to be discussed between you both, because we...
Okay, well, let's do it this. So let's do it this way. Like I think we think Milton Berle was the biggest historical star that's been on. Is Milton Berle more famous than?
I'd go Vincent.
I have something. I have an opinion about Vincent Price.
I heard. Go ahead.
Please do.
So, I think he might be the most known actor, only because. Given our generation, right? So he started acting in what year? Like 1948 or something like that.
He was probably...
Yeah, it might be even earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. But we all know who he is because he's always been in the background. And Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Oh, yeah. He did another something like that on a different album.
This is pre that.
Yeah.
So I wonder.
Right. But I'm saying, think about it. Think about our ages, right? We were, his movies he's all over the place. He was on Star Trek, right? He did voiceovers for kids TV shows.
He had a whole new career, almost based on that, little bits of that creepy Vincent Price character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was more...
you could just drop him in. He did parts of that here, but he actually did way more acting than I was expecting.
Yeah,
I think you're right. I think you're right for our generation. I think at the time maybe he wasn't, but I don't know what people thought of Vincent Price in 1978. Was he just some weirdo?
Well,
that's the thing. Yeah,
he was already acting for 20 years. He was in a ton of movies. He did a lot
in so many.
He had a pretty prolific career even up until that point.
Yeah. He was a TV movie guy, theater guy, radio guy. He did it all.
He was always he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
So maybe corresponding to that, though, kind of with him and his character on The Love Boat, it was kind of maybe a comeback.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Maybe some parallels to Especially if this is pre Michael Jackson, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe this is what Quincy Jones saw.
Yeah.
He was like flipping around and he saw the Love Boat and he's like, this guy.
Give me the phone number. Give me the phone number for the amazing Alonso quickly.
I don't know who Vincent Price is.
I want this guy. He just turned 2 men into burros.
I didn't realize that Vincent Price was in Tim Burton's Edward Scissorhand. He was
that was his final movie. Yeah, that's his last movie.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he was the scientist that made him, and
that was cool. Yeah.
He was also in the Super Bowl episode of The Simpsons, where they found this old Easter egg set, and they had to call the helpline, and it was just a recording of Vincent Price.
Oh,
when you were to buy your egg decals or whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry, Timmy. Like, it's a lot of that.
He had a very distinct voice too. I wonder if that was from the
he
smoking.
He didn't even really go full Vincent Price in this. Maybe at the very end, that last illusion, right? But like,
no, he couldn't because he was supposed to be meek, right? He was supposed to lack confidence. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, he had layers. Like, this was a well acted performance. I assumed it was going to be Vincent Price going full Vincent Price, turning everybody on the boat into jackasses. So
once again, hey, thanks, Norman Fell. Thanks a lot for nothing.
Seriously.
Zero effort.
Every episode we've had this season has had at least one great performance.
Right.
And then there's Norman Fell just mailing it in.
Just stinkeroo. Just gave us a whole 46 minutes of nothing. Awful. Anything else to wrap up before we get on the boat?
I would like to point out that this is our second episode that was written by one person. And,
I did notice that.
And the first one we really liked, and this one probably wasn't as good. But what it does do is it allows you to have characters kind of interacting with each other through the different storylines, which is fun.
I agree.
But the person who wrote it, Mickey Rose, co-wrote Bananas with Woody Allen in the early 70s, which I didn't even know Woody Allen had co-writers. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
I didn't know there was a movie called Bananas.
Oh, Bananas is great.
Really?
Bananas, it's just wild. Woody Allen basically ends up in a third world country involved in the revolution, like trying to throw a coup. It's really good.
I think I've heard of that. Yeah.
It's really good.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
It's no Kiss meets the
Aaron
robots or whatever. But
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. All right. Well, let's get on the boat. Porthole report. We're still seeing a mix of how these people. So we're seeing now. They used to use that ticker tape scene. When everyone's leaving the port, they throw the paper. But now, the guest stars in alphabetical order are given that porthole shot. And what we're seeing is sometimes that actor will like look right into the camera and give it a little wink. The way Iris Adrian did. And some, it's weird. You're still getting a mix. We're monitoring the porthole situation very closely. And we do that so you guys don't have to. So,
I was surprised that Vincent Price was relatively understated.
I think he was in character. That's what I thought.
I'm just saying, I kind of thought he'd be like spooky or something, and he really wasn't.
Yeah.
If I was the casting person on the Love Boat, I would have a talk with, like, the first day Vincent Price shows up on set, I'd be like, hey, VP, can I talk to you in private? Okay. Listen, where's the mustache? Where's the trademark pencil thin mustache? You keep draw it in. I don't care what you do, Vinny.
Where's the vampire?
I need the mustache on the Love Boat. He just looked a little weird.
Well, he's playing a character. The Amazing Alonzo doesn't have a mustache.
He should.
I mean, he's an illusionist. Maybe he did and we didn't see it.
Maybe it was an illusion. It's all an illusion.
The whole episode, he has it, but we are tricked that we don't even see it.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Imagine at the end, he's like, the Love Boat sank 10 years ago. And that's the last episode. Stubbing's a ghost.
I just want to know, the boat itself looked a little bigger on this episode. Did they get a new boat?
No, you know what they did? They got new camera angles. A lot of these big panning shots, I noticed, time-wasting panning shots that we love so much. Yeah, it was definitely a little...
I thought the show itself looked nicer, though. Like, there was more, like, of a color to it, and, like... It felt like, and you know what it felt like, Mike? It felt like it should have been the season opener in terms of like things looked a little
production.
Different. Yeah,
I agree.
Julie's hair's growing out. We're getting somewhere.
You know, you say that, and then you see Isaac's head on top of a beard. So
that was amazing.
You know what I mean? I'm kind of conflicted.
Well, I mean, think about it for the time, though. I mean, I think you're right leading into that, because that's kind of like pretty modern tech for that time.
Yeah, that was pretty. Honestly, that was pretty.
Yeah,
I was surprised. I was not expecting that. So.
What was more impressive, that technology or the giant donkey-sized glasses on the dock donkey?
Yeah, and it did kind of look like them. Just saying.
And they had the shoulder patches.
Yeah,
I don't want to. Spoiler alert: donkeys. We are on the Halloween cruise, and they make that abundantly clear when we get on the boat. I don't remember. Did you guys have been on cruises? I can't remember.
Yeah, I was.
You were. That's right. I remember that because you were young. Okay, I remember that. Okay, I remember that.
And out with some guy under a bush. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Was it Halloween?
I think you were our first cruise.
Yeah.
But well, you've had other guests that have been on a bunch of cruises, right?
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
Where'd you find a boy?
I don't know. I just heard steel drums. I was on Hamilton Island, and I don't know. I was making out with some dude. He was like Spanish or something.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know.
There you go.
He was cute.
Making out like nobody did on this boat, really?
Like,
not a lot of
there wasn't a lot of
this week.
Wait,
you go from smooch and bandit to nothing.
Wait, I gotta tell you, it was like,
this sounds like it was off boat.
It was off boat because you go to port, right? You go and visit, different.
Right.
Oh, and there's a bush.
Right, but it was like a shrub. Like, it was really weird. Like, I don't know why we went there. Like, were we hiding? Like, I don't even know. I
feel definitely like hiding.
In my memory, I feel like it was only half my body that was like under the bush. Like,
did you say you were 10?
No, it was my 17th birthday.
Well, there you go. Happy birthday.
You go. Happy birthday, Tanya.
Thanks.
Maybe the show will. Maybe the Love Boat Project will mail you a bush. It arrives at your house.
Nice.
Maybe you can get one in the merch store.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tanya. Yeah, we'll call it Tanya's bush, but it'll be just like a legit bush.
Yeah, totally. well maintained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought too. So you see all these decorations. The idea of number one, I'm not a cruise guy, but the idea of a Halloween cruise is a little odd to me. Like, I just don't view that as a holiday to go away for a few days. It's Halloween.
Yeah, you're not getting
and I wanted to get your thoughts on this.
You're not getting candy? Like, go ahead.
We went to Disney for Halloween purposely because it was Halloween. Because we thought it was super cool. They had it all decorated and like they gave you tons of candy. Like, we purposely went there.
Yeah, but that's kind of different.
And we had kids with us.
Yeah.
Him and I going by ourselves, and like, but it wasn't
cool.
On
a cruise.
But I'm just saying, like,
I feel like because a cruise is like, I mean, they're there for how many days? 5.
Well, I don't think we've had one of those 10-dayers in a while. This felt pretty short. So this might have been one of those 3 or 4.
I feel like it just kind of like happens that Halloween is part of the cruise, and they're like, well, we'll just decorate it for the one night, and they have the ball or whatever.
Or
maybe
we've had a masquerade party already on this boat, and it wasn't Halloween. So the only thing they really did was get that easel back out, tear down that Valentine's Day cruise sign, and put a jack-o'-lantern over top of the heart. That's really
just
all
they did. Start jamming. Yeah.
Or they realized their mistake in the first season about how they had remember the cowboy like rodeo?
Yeah, they transformed the whole thing.
Right. Everyone had like cowboy hats and everything. Maybe they realized, let's preface this that it's Halloween so people aren't like, where are they getting all, like, how is this happening?
Yeah. You knew to pack your costume.
Yes.
They made it abundantly clear.
Yeah.
The band didn't just happen to have Pumpkinhead.
That band
flying around.
Those poor guys are just full of sweat.
Yeah. If we had more time, we were going to go as Pumpkinheads.
I looked for one, but all they have is scary Pumpkinheads.
I couldn't find a Pumpkinhead.
So couldn't find just a fun one.
That'd have been great if we all showed up as Pumpkinheads.
Yeah.
Because then we'd have to vote. We'd have to tell somebody to get rid of the pumpkin because it's not a true representation of the band. Because it's only a 3-person band. So I'm just saying, I'm glad we didn't have to go down that road.
But that's for the Pumpkinhead Project.
That's right, Pumpkinhead Project. We see Gopher, Isaac, and Doc. They're doing their normal, but they're coming in as people are boarding the ship. We find out that from Doc that he was once married to an old bat.
Yep.
Made me laugh. Little boy walks up to Gopher and Doc, tells him that a woman is trying to jump off the ship. And immediately I'm thinking, like, Doc's already thinking, like, well, I could be her savior, so.
Let me be your lifeline.
But, like, here's the thing, guys. Why would you get on the ship? You're just boarding the ship and you're going to jump off? Like, why didn't you just do that at home before you got to the ship? Is that the most convenient way to handle it?
Wait, are you arguing with?
She wasn't doing it. She was just
right. I'm saying, but
are you arguing with the crews not taking the time to think about that?
Yeah,
instead of just running out and saving the woman.
Like, let's think about this. Just seems like a weird move.
This episode, I mean, I feel like within the first minute, it was like heavy drama within the first minute. And you're like, what the heck? And
they don't hit, they 2 seconds in and there's like an emergency. Like, whoa.
And I'm like, whoa.
I like to wade into the pool. And this is like, all right, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Either someone's about to die or trying to almost die, or Billy's a liar. Or Bobby's a liar, whatever.
Do you know who that someone was?
I did not.
The daughter of Ronald Reagan.
That was Patty?
Maureen.
Maureen?
Oh, just within the IMDb trivia.
Wow.
This was her last acting role.
Oh.
What woman who we thought might be jumping off? It's a long character name. How do they?
Moss. She had a name. The groupies didn't get a name.
They didn't get a name. You're absolutely
That's what happens when you know people in power.
Doc and Gopher run to help, but she was just posing for a picture. Okay.
Did you hear when Gopher's like, I thought you were going to jump? And she's like, not at these prices. So the boat is the boat is expensive this week. So.
Doc tells Bobby he wants to speak to his parents. Here comes Mr. or Dr. and Mrs. Dillar. And Bobby Dillar, I guess, is a bit of a liar. Doc says, I'm no psychologist, but when a kid lies, there's usually a reason.
Yeah,
Bravo, Doc. Bravo for that deep medical insight.
Yeah,
nailed it. Psychologist.
He nailed it.
It's like that weatherman that says it's 50% chance of rain every day. Nailed it. Maybe it will, maybe it won't.
Proved his worth.
He did prove his worth. Here comes Julie with her friend Karen, wearing the scarf that I just took off.
Another drama. Boom.
Right away.
Yeah.
And let me say this. So she's coming on the ship and she's going to stay in Julie's cabin. Is she a stowaway? And if you're staying in Julie's cabin, how does she have like a space for dinner? And if she is, then what did she pay for it? Like, doesn't she have a room? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of.
She had perks back then, right?
Yeah, I feel like Julie. Yeah, she just kind of like bring a friend.
Yeah, bring a friend.
Because don't forget when Isaac's girlfriend stayed, it was a surprise, so he didn't know. So she had to get a room.
That's
Stubing's letting people on this damn boat for free all the time. So I think this is actually.
Well, that's probably why it was more expensive for that woman who.
That's true. She's
prices. She's paying for all these stowaways. Like
somebody's got to. We got bills to pay.
Yeah.
We already filed the taxes. Woo.
Yeah.
Julie asked Freddie. Freddie?
Shout out
New
Freddie.
crew member Freddie? Who's Freddie?
Oh yeah.
Jeez. Love when they throw a new crew member and you're like, who?
He's up.
What?
He's now eligible for best crew member.
Best crew member Freddie. Jeez. I don't think it was a speaking role though, so he wasn't getting.
Neither was
he's
Vince.
Not getting that SAG.
I mean, he's not getting the SAG.
No. Doc and Gopher think Karen is smoking hot. Julie says that she used to be a model before her car accident. So if you get a scratch, let me just understand. She's just shot now, right? With that little tiny white scratch, like
that's a cutthroat industry back then.
Yeah. Well, they made a.
No pun intended.
She made a comment that the phone calls stopped coming in.
Yeah.
She was.
You think it's because she's mentally unbalanced?
Yeah.
Well, you have the start of the episode being dramatic. I think it was just going around with that theme, right?
Just so you kick the door in.
Yeah. Do you think she's not getting enough oxygen to her head because that scarf is tied too tight around her head?
Just leaks.
There's something.
Her brain slipped out of her little tiny scratch. She got nothing up there.
She looked very good with the scarf, though. She looked, I mean, not as pretty as you, Mike, but like she definitely looked pretty. You know, some of them were pretty nice. I was like, okay.
I have legitimately scratched myself by accident worse than she.
Sure.
Than she has that scar.
It was white. The scar was white. Like, what kind of scab is white? Bunch of nonsense.
I think it was just poor makeup back then.
Yeah.
Toothpaste.
Just draw a red line, or just put a big giant Band-Aid to really make the point.
Yeah.
It should have been more. It should have been more scar, right? Like it should have been like comical scar, especially on Halloween.
Oozing, like fresh.
It's funny that we're having this discussion because I remember having this exact same discussion when they unmasked Kane. So the story was with Kane that he was horribly disfigured, right? Just for the fire that his brother set. His brother's the Undertaker, by the way. And so it came time to unmask. And obviously you can't. He didn't have the burns. He just had a really odd haircut and some questionable eye makeup. But it's like, hey, Kane, it wasn't that bad. You know, or no, I'm hideous. You know, it's the same kind of thing. It's in his head.
There's a real good chance that Doc and Gopher didn't notice the scar at all.
I don't think they did.
Right.
Like they never, like nothing was ever said. Never, like no one was like, "Oh, did you see this scar?" Nothing. I don't think they even noticed.
No.
Like, what's the worst?
Unless
someone's gonna, like, it's not like somebody's gonna walk up and try to touch it. Like, oh, let me, like, what? You just.
Oh, sorry that Zorro got to you first.
No kidding.
Unless.
Have you been fencing?
And no one really saw the scar. I mean, it all could just.
You know what? Maybe the scar was just a metaphor the whole time.
She's hurting on the inside, I think you're trying to say.
Although she had jumped off that boat, she would have been hurt on the outside too.
Yeah.
Nah, she would have been fine.
She was really dramatic.
John Ritter.
She
jumped off the boat. Same thing. He was fine.
Though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bobby would have saved her.
Those teeth would have. He would have.
They're buoyant. They're made of. His teeth are made of balsa wood. He can float.
Bobby, throw your teeth down and save her.
Steubing is talking to three passengers who we will later call the groupies 1, 2, and 3. He tells them that he hired the amazing Alonzo. Enter Wendell Morton. You know, here's what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to call him Alonzo because it's just ridiculous to go back and forth.
Yeah.
Enter Alonzo and Ramona. Alonzo's having second thoughts about agreeing to appear on the cruise. He hasn't appeared in front of an audience in 3 years.
Baller move walking onto the boat in a cape, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I'm sorry. Are you the amazing Alonzo? Yes, I am. So it's just...
I think the cape says you're ready to go.
Yeah. Don't put it on unless it's go time.
Like,
you know what I mean? Like, don't.
I thought Steubing was being pushy by asking for a small illusion, but you're wearing the cape.
Yeah, you're wearing the cape.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, you can't show up in full football uniform and be like,
no. You don't wear golf spikes driving range.
Yeah.
Wait, so weren't those the groupies talking crap about him before he even came?
Yeah. A little bit. I think that they were like a little like, what? You know?
Well, it sounds like he's washed up. That's what they were
washed up. Yeah. Like, he can't do it anymore. He's
past his prime.
Alonzo and Ramona walk up to Steubing. Alonzo introduces Steubing to Ramona, and he calls her the love of his life. And like Mike said, Steubing's like, hey, that's great. Talkie later. Give me an illusion right now. You know? I paid you, fool.
Why did Steubing book an act, by the way? Aren't you the captain of the boat?
Isn't that Julie's job?
Yes.
Well, she had a friend there. She was distracted. She had to help her friend with the little, you know.
We have seen under 5 planned acts in this show so far, and Steubing books one. So
yeah, why did he have to book it? Well, I guess
just a big fan.
We'll get. He was a big fan. We'll get to it, but like he basically killed that party.
Yeah. 100%. The angriest pirate I've ever seen. And I've seen some angry pirates. So before Alonzo can decline, we see Gopher and Doc arguing over Karen still. Oddly, they're not even mentioning her scar. Her white invisible scar. Ramona whispers in Alonzo's ear. He then says if they want to act like jackasses, then they should be jackasses. Points at Doc and Gopher, and they turn into jackasses. One with Doc-style glasses, and one with a giant version of Gopher's hat.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Why doesn't she see the illusions?
I don't think I think it's like, you know, it's like your spouse, your bullshit doesn't really play with your spouse. Like, I think it's basically that.
Because Steubing is simple-minded. He's groupie number 4 is what he is. He is so simple-minded. Him and the other groupies are like, oh, I totally see it. He's such a dummy.
Well, Steubing
what it is.
Steubing was like, donkeys on my ship? Like, no, you idiot. It's an illusion.
That's what I'm saying. That's how dumb he is.
Yeah. I thought the setup for the illusion and stuff was like kind of lame. Like, I don't know.
All of his illusions were lame.
Yeah, it's just like 1, 2, 3.
Well, but how is that a small illusion though? That's the thing. I'm like, good Lord, I was looking for like look, there's a flower in my hand. No. I'll turn people into donkeys. Like what?
Everyone just sees it. Like,
well, here's the thing: that Alonzo, you don't want to open with this. If you open with this, what are you going to close with? Well, I open with I turn people into donkeys. Like, geez, man, take it easy on yourself, Alonzo. If you've been out for 3 years,
you see, in the end, he spent.
Right.
I was more impressed by the
left
end.
in the tank.
I like the end. I was more impressed with his ending illusion.
That was kind of cool. I did that in high school to ask a girl for prom. I did the same thing. Made everyone freeze.
No, that was just you.
That was just me. Yeah.
I feel like this is the first time we've talked about your prom thing or something, and I really feel like you need some therapy for it.
You know, it's funny. Well, no, it's. I love prom. I went to prom 5 years in a row. It was great.
Wow.
I love the prom.
Wow.
Holy crap. Different girl?
Yeah. She was in 10th grade and I was in 8th grade.
Wow.
So
I
just love prom.
Your high prom into high school.
Yeah. Like I got, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I just, yeah, prom.
Tanya, this whole show has turned into Mike's therapy, though. Every week we have a different story about some past things.
Deep, dark. Don't get me started about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You know that. Oof, that's a whole nother project. Yes. Steubing is suddenly concerned that there are 2 donkeys on his ship, and he says, "What happened to Doc and Gopher? You simpleton!" And he points. Alonzo points at Doc and Gopher. Boom! They turn back into their human forms.
The template has been set for this episode.
They haven't even left the Doc left, and this craziness is go. First, they hit him with drama, like Tanya's saying. Now you got people turning into donkeys. Like everything's just
Suicide, car accidents, and illusions, all before the first break.
Dude, that suicide thing was jarring in this episode. I know we're gonna get to it. It was just jarring.
Yeah.
Oh. Ticker tape shot, no close-ups. It was all this big wide shot, which was kind of cool.
They saved the close-up for later.
That's true. That is true.
That was a close-up.
It would have been great if they had the ticker tape shot and you saw her up on the ledge, like higher up. This looks high enough. Maybe this is high enough.
That's funny. The only person without any ticker tape, just sticking out like a sore thumb.
So
or she's got it wrapped around her face.
What was the little girl named? Because she was in a lot of it.
She wasn't.
She was
Lucy.
Not
was her name?
Lithman Luthi. Yeah, she wasn't credited. Yeah,
Lithman Luthi.
You know, it's crazy. We were watching that, and I was like, "Oh my god, I look just like her as a kid." I mean, she had a terrible haircut. She had that like little tan thing. I wanted to show you guys a picture. I was like, that could have been. She was a little trashy. Like it would have been me as a kid.
I mean, she wasn't credited. It could have been you.
We don't know.
I'm sorry, guys. It's coming out now. It was me.
That'd be so awesome.
A real star, an actual star of the episode.
Yeah, I was.
We still get those.
Take that competing Love Boat
resids. Yeah. Those big checks every month.
Yeah, I'm going to give you behind the scenes afterwards. Okay. Okay. I'm going to tell you how he did the illusions.
He'd be so mad. Alonzo would be so pissed.
I can get some pictures for you guys if you need a thumbnail of
the episode.
I swear,
6th grade picture.
You should put them together. Oh no, not that one. Younger. Put them together, and you're like, oh, that does kind of look like Tanya.
That's funny.
Bad haircuts. I feel like both kids had the same exact haircut. Boy, girl, didn't matter.
They're all Julie. They're all interchangeable.
Come on now. Julie's growing it out.
She's growing it out a little.
But she's on the upswing. We're heading in the right direction.
Season. Yeah. Julie enters her cabin, tells Karen she's missing the big illusion. Karen slowly walks in the mirror, takes off her head covering to reveal a scratch under one of her eyes. And in all seriousness, right?
To reveal light eczema.
To just... There's so much there's so much scarf and there's so little scar. It's just so funny that that's the move.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought there was going to be like a scar on each side of her face.
I thought it was going to be like Melrose Place when Kimberly takes off her wig and she's got the brain scars.
Oh man, that was classic.
Why didn't she just have like big sunglasses or something?
Yeah.
Just
a Band-Aid. She could have been like the original Nellie.
But why?
She could have been.
Why was she wearing like...
Nellie was more like under the eye, though.
She was wearing a lot of transparent, like, scarves. Like, couldn't you see the scar through? Oh, no, because it was a scratch. That's why my mistake.
Well, she wants people to go, is that a scar? And she's like, I don't know. We'll never tell. And then she just keeps walking. Like, I think you want the wrong kind of attention, Karen. Like, what do you...
If somebody asked her directly if that was a scar, she would have ran right into the propeller of the boat.
Oh, yeah.
Misunderstandings almost got her killed.
Yeah, she would have grabbed a toaster and like jumped in that pool. Absolutely. Which would explain Lucy's hair. See what I mean? It's all...
Get that ice cream out of the pool.
What are we doing? I can't electrocute myself if the pool is now ice cream Sunday.
I can't wait to talk about the ice cream.
Boy, oh boy. Karen says she can't go anywhere looking like this with this tiny scar. Julie says you look fine. Karen says tell that to the photographers. So she was fired and they don't want to take her picture.
Blacklisted.
I'm just curious. Why couldn't they shoot just her good side then? I was
just thinking that.
Model.
Yeah, why can't she just be like half a face model?
Right. Or like Batman.
Like Batman. Except it's just like,
why wouldn't a scarf company reach out to her and she could have been like,
I mean, don't they have touch-ups in 1978? I mean, you could white that thing out pretty easily, I think.
Like, she worked for a scarf company. It would have saved her a lot of dough. All those matching scarves. Her whole suitcase was scarves.
She's dressed like spy versus spy in like half this movie. She's got like all white on with a white hat.
Like, are you the Baroness? No, I'm not the Baroness.
Well, obviously they weren't very good with makeup back then, because I mean that scar was whoo.
All they had was a white colored pencil.
Everyone else has tons of makeup on. That's the thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like for
like make a scar. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like make like a Felicia from General Hospital scar when she betrayed Robert Scorpio all those years.
Well, maybe they want
scar.
Make it so like she seemed like she was overreacting to the whole thing, so it was not that big of a deal.
No, she's just mental.
That makes sense. So it's like she's like Lady Macbeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, Mickey Rose.
Nice breaking it down. Karen said she expected a miracle with plastic surgery. Come on. What are you going to do this?
Yeah, what plastic surgery did she have?
What are you putting next to? Where's the plastic going? It's a cut.
Yeah.
It's a cut. You just put a Band-Aid. It wasn't even stitch scars. It was a white line.
All, we should have planned out that we all had that, like wearing it, like the matching.
Little tiny scar.
I think next time we all get together, we should all take a white colored pencil before and just put a little.
Actually.
See?
Yeah.
Could be a big costume at Project Con.
Oh, those white colored pencils are going to sell off the. We can't even keep. We're already sold out.
I got to tell you, I honestly thought she was going to look like the Elephant Man when she did that.
So did I.
So disappointed when I was like,
"That's it."
Yeah, I was like, "She's still really pretty." Yeah.
I mean, I would try to make her feel better, saying, "Look, that's not even your worst blemish." You're worried about the wrong thing, Karen.
Yeah.
I didn't think she was pretty.
I mean, she got a personality problem.
I thought she was Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, he did. She thought. Did you hear that?
She looked like what?
Ozzy Osbourne.
The whole time.
That's 80s Osbourne too, with the short hair and everything. When he was crazy.
Check it out. She does.
I don't know if I'm. You know what? If I had to do more notes, that's all I would see. Boy. Also, I want to mention this is terrible fake crying 2 weeks in a row. Last week, the Tennille. This week, Karen.
Yeah, but this is worse.
Crying.
This is worse. Karen's a real actress. Tennille's not a real actress.
Yeah, but Tennille, it's not like, oh, she was good, but she just couldn't fake cry. She was terrible and she couldn't fake cry.
Right.
So, we see Mr. and Mrs. Dillar. Should I refer to him as Dr. and Mrs. Dillar? I feel like I'm slighting him. Oh, whatever.
He's a dentist.
He's a dentist.
They didn't introduce him as a doctor.
No. Well, maybe I don't know.
Well, they mentioned he's a dentist, but I don't know if they ever referenced him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was FBI, right? FBI.
Yeah, he's CIA. CIA. Yeah.
CIA spy. That's right.
They're on the pool side. Mr. Dillar is talking about not getting a sunburn. Here's the other thing. So everyone's laying out. Mike, we're going back to a topic we've covered before here. You're laying out. You're on a deck. You're putting sunscreen on. What goes great with sunscreen, a blazing hot deck?
Retina damage.
That's right. How about a pair of sunglasses for anybody on this ship? It's all I can see now is a lack of sunglasses.
Yeah.
Nobody ever wears them. Ever. And I don't know if it's like, was the director like, no, I need to see your eye. You act with the eyes. I don't know what's going on. Nobody had sunglasses on the show. Ever.
I did notice that in this episode, you have all these older people, like acting and all of that. But then the background actors and actresses are all like young, like 21 and like really pretty bodies. And then, but everyone else is just kind of like old.
Yeah. It's like weird. It's like a lot of old characters in the actual cast.
Yeah.
But no one under like 90 in the backdrop. Yeah.
So what? It's like a
young. Yeah.
So it's like a young cruise. Like the only people who can go on this cruise are young people and actors and actresses that have been in like 100 things, and Bobby the Liar, and that's it. Everyone else, let's keep it young. I wonder what don't they have cruises like age sort of? You have like a golden cruise, and then because 30-year-olds want to hang out with?
Yeah, but Halloween themed cruises are for the youngs.
Oh yeah.
So really, the groupies got screwed up. That's what happened. Maybe they thought they were on the Kiss. They were on the Kiss movie cruise.
Maybe they knew the illusionist was going to be there, and they thought that they might be turned into jackasses. I don't know.
Who knew? Mrs. Wow. Mrs. Dillar tells her husband not to try so hard.
Love that.
He says that it was hard breaking up, and it'll be hard getting back together. And I believe Bobby says later, so they broke up, they got back together, they broke up, they got back together, they broke up, and now they're back together. Like it felt like it was a lot more trips around the sun than like, what? How many times? And you got remarried?
Well, there was
5 times.
Going on there. Yeah, but why did they break up? I thought he cheated. They never tell me why they break up.
I mean, it's Gary Collins. I mean, he's I don't know. They never mention it.
No.
Although it seemed like it was more on him, just the way he was sort of like,
her up.
Walking on eggs.
Definitely, for sure.
And he's like, let me rub the lotion.
Yeah.
She's like, you get the F away from me, Dillar.
How did he say
you and your liar son.
Oh, like Silence of the Lambs. It rubs the lotion. I feel like, Mike, you could do that really good with your voice.
Do we have any, do we have that nitrous tank? Do we have that here? We'll get that in here in just a second. Speaking of liars, well, also before we get to that, they say how rough this situation has been on their son. And I reflect on the words of wisdom from Doc saying, kids lie for a reason. So this is the reason, apparently. Speaking of liars, we see Bobby running on deck to Isaac. Although very light Isaac this week, I will say. I was kind of disappointed. Yeah. So they always have, like last week, remember, big time Isaac. This week?
Like later in the episode was awesome.
Yeah, maybe they were saving it for the beer bottle.
Not even that. Like,
yeah, he just
like Halloween party. Isaac was really good.
Isaac rules.
And you guys want to jump, but like he was.
Oh, we jump. Yeah, we can't stay in track anymore. So
we're just.
He was awesome.
Do whatever.
Awesome.
That's the host's problem, not your problem.
Yeah. We're good. Don't even worry about it. You say, we'll don't even sweat it. He tells Isaac. Bobby tells Isaac, lie 2, that there's a man strangling a woman.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's running. Isaac's like, what? Where? He runs. Nobody's strangling. Again, it's just a couple engaged in some smooching. Because that's what you do on a cruise ship. You smooch. Yeah.
I
guess you didn't see that at home when you're loveless parents.
Well, there's nobody around. It's just one person.
They could have been choking.
Tongue thrusting?
Tongue thrusting.
All right. Well, that's done.
If you could jot that down. Tongue thrusting.
Let's make it out. Tongue
thrusting.
I don't know.
You don't even have to keep the notebook the rest of the
Yeah, we just throw the notebook away now.
Should we give you an example of of what happened?
No.
Moving on.
Tongue thrusting with Tanya and Buddy.
No, we're moving on.
Isaac tells him that it was dumb to do, kind of dumb. It was dumb to do what you did. I guess it's a lot of did there. So we're building up the
lying liar.
Oh, just.
I mean, he was good at it though.
Was he?
What a weird lie! Like what? There's no
boy who cried wolf with Bob.
Yeah. But it's worse than like you're telling a blatant lie and then you're going, "Come with me." Like, what was the plan there? Like, what were you hoping they were gone so you could go? They must have thrown her off the ship.
It's
the
like
blood's on your hands, adult.
So. Like don't run back to the spot with somebody. Maybe you kind of, I don't know. It's just odd.
That's more impressed that the adults responded so fast.
I agree. I agree.
Back then, they would have been like, "What?"
They wouldn't even heard the kid. The music be up so loud.
Yeah, but everyone's like really responsive, you know.
Alonzo's walking down the hall with his 3 groupies. They run into Ramona, and he introduces her as his associate. Oof.
Yeah,
that's cold.
Downgrade.
I'm gonna try that with Missy sometime when we're out.
His life to business manager.
I feel like it's all happened
Agent?
to us. Mike, I
felt like it was just like he's not capable of running his own life. But not like an employee thing, but it was, he loved her. It was just,
I don't know. We'll see.
It was weird.
I think this is just gratuitous. It's kind of like, Buddy, that's the last time you're on with Eva Gabor. It's like he's so obsessed with the attention that he just leaves his betrothed behind.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Parallels there.
Yeah, definitely parallels.
It's almost like they don't have that many storylines. They're just going back to him already.
So I guess Alonzo was supposed to meet Ramona at the bar, but got caught up with his new groupies. Ramona asked to speak to Alonzo alone, and she addresses the fact, hey, I was the love of your life, but now I'm the associate. Exactly. Looks like amazing Alonzo. Exactly. Likes this newfound attention. It's hard to blame him.
Alonzo or the dog?
Well, I mean, it's hard to blame Alonzo for liking the attention he got for being. I'm not saying you dump on your main squeeze like that.
It's just kind of gratuitous. I mean,
is sort of gratuitous.
He's just immediately disregarding his, fiance for these 3 old biddies.
It's just a D move, man. Just a D move.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I mean, to be superficial, because I mean, we're somewhat talking superficial about Karen and all that, but she wasn't very attractive. I mean, none of those ladies were very attractive. Like, I mean, she looked like, didn't she have like a big mole and like, she looked witchy like?
Ramona?
I mean, yeah, I didn't,
It's Vincent Price. What do you think he's pulling? Like,
well, Vincent Price is like tall and,
Oh, you're just really into Vincent Price. This is your
dude, I gotta tell you, I waited, okay, for that Thriller video. I remember. Do you guys remember this?
Oh, I remember. It was like a whole deal when it first came out. It was like a 20-minute.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing.
Down and like
they play it like every hour on the hour.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
It was a big deal, and then it was totally worth the hype. It was
absolutely
awesome.
So you think Ramona was just like one of the zombies at the end?
Maybe.
She wasn't like the cute girl at the movie theater?
Or she was playing the long game for that Thriller money.
Yeah. Maybe.
God knows. I wonder how much he made off of that.
Vincent Price?
Yeah, it's all different now. I wonder if it was just like, here's a flat fee. I don't know. Who knows?
They paid me $40.
Back to Karen. Karen's having a drink on deck with a purple translucent scarf wrapped around her head.
Again.
And I just wrote, like, isn't a scratch under her eye? What do you got all this? It's like if you don't have a license or a car, all you have is a skateboard. Do you really need a 2-car garage? You know what I mean? It's the same thing. Julie says, "Don't be so self-conscious," and that she looks great. Okay.
It's funny, Julie. Okay. This is what we always talk about. When Julie's the only female cast member, they give her all the crazy junk to deal with. So when there's another crazy actress on, Julie gets to be normal. It's great. It's fun to see Julie giving sage advice to wackos. But
if they were true to the character, Julie'd be giving out some crazy, you know what I mean? Because Julie has no confidence in the fact that she's telling somebody else, or maybe that's what it is, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Do what I say, not do what I do kind of deal.
Listen, Julie's back on the upswing.
Yeah, her hair, like, she's looking good and stuff.
Yeah, her hair's growing out. She got smooched by the bandit last week.
That ridiculous Halloween costume she had on. Like, come on.
She's looking happier. I mean, she looks happy in that episode.
She is on so many prescription medications. I'm not going to allow this
Julie besmirching. She's a stubby winner, sir.
She is a stubby winner. Two-time stubby winner. It's true. I need to show her some damn respect. Gopher enters the conversation by sitting on Julie. Interesting.
Following up that self-confidence bit.
Yeah, no kidding. How about tells Karen that he will be joining her for dinner tonight. More of that confidence right there. Don't they have work to do? Not to be like, but
I say that every time. I'm like, what
you're just goofing off.
He's a doctor. What's he doing?
You're in uniform,
right?
Well, there were no medical situations until the end.
When
there almost was.
The scar was a medical emergency. Okay.
Yeah.
Self-confidence, a liar, a lying kid.
Well, those aren't medical conditions.
Well, turning,
No, I know.
But Doc's not really a doctor, probably. So
no,
he's not going to be.
That's just his nickname.
We need a boat psychiatrist.
Oh, that's what we need.
Maybe that's what Freddie is.
Deliver the baby on the one episode.
I was going to say that.
He did.
It's true.
But so Buddy's.
He's either doing the most medical thing you can do or nothing.
Or absolutely nothing.
But I do think this Buddy brings up a good point. If I could remember what that point was you made. Oh, the fact that they're always at work, like this episode specifically, they make a clear, obviously when you see Isaac in his matching leather outfits, suede and fringes and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. He's clearly not at work, but these guys are always at work and doing like,
I would be like, what are you guys doing? Like, I look at it from like a boss perspective, right? I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, I had a couple of my dishwashers get caught shooting pool up in the hallway the other night where I work. There was a pool table and
right.
Like, what are you guys doing?
So if they were doing this bit, if they were doing the table bit from later,
I do. There is a parallel with this. I went to the circus years and years and years ago with a girl I was dating, and we got there early, and the clowns came up into the crowd before there was like nobody there, and they were like hardcore hitting on her. And it was the most uncomfortable thing in the world because they were in full on makeup.
It's the same thing.
Like relentlessly hitting on her. And I'm just like, I don't know how to address this situation at all. Like,
get lost, clown.
Don't do this. You're at work.
You're at work.
Yeah. Come on, Bubbles. Don't just leave her alone. Come on.
Like, they could go back and change into their like.
Yeah, then it's fine. It's fine. Then he's Kenny. I don't want to deal with, Blinky or whatever the hell his name is. Yeah, you're at work. But if you're wearing a uniform, to Buddy's point, and you're representing the Pacific Princess, we just goofing off, making dates and trying to go to breakfast and turn into donkeys and all kinds of wild stuff.
That's a bad look.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like drooling over her. Like they were a little aggressive. Like. And
there's like how many passengers, Mike? 600?
600. We saw
that is also like their MO though.
Yeah. But we saw 0 passengers get helped. Nobody got a drink at the bar. Nobody got served at dinner.
Nothing. Nobody ate. Nobody drank.
Nobody was medically attended to. No one worked this cruise. No one was checked in.
Nobody was checked in.
You didn't really see the inside of anyone's cabin except for the captain.
And Bobby.
Right.
No, you didn't. They weren't.
No, we took him outside for that lecture.
He was outside. And then Julie, they just had close-ups of them.
Right.
Like, they didn't really show. Like,
yeah.
Maybe they were.
How many episodes have you had where, like, you get a good view of Steubing's court?
Well, the funny part is in season one, his office was bigger. They have definitely reduced his set.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Tanya, I don't know if you remember, but like the TV and that,
huge,
that ain't there anymore.
Desk.
It's a much smaller set.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened.
A lot of books for that guy.
There was one book he was using.
One book. It's the same book 100 times.
I was just impressed that he had a door with a separate bedroom.
Yeah, not like a curtain.
Yeah.
Well, what number can he count to? What was that, Mike? What number? 6. Everything's in 5s because he can't count to 6. There were 6 orphans, and he bought 5 presents. There's only 6 orphans, not 68, not 64. Some complicated number. 6. So Julie convinces Karen to take her scarf off. Uh-oh. And we hear someone say,
that was weird.
It's not Halloween till tomorrow.
Yeah, they really said it like, it's not Halloween till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Since she's like, well, they're obviously talking about me.
Right. Yeah.
That's directed at me, not the people on a Halloween cruise.
Right, but here's the thing. It's October 30th on the boat, Karen. Like, it's not Halloween till tomorrow. Like, you are wrong. So,
well, and how small...
Like, is this a Halloween cruise, or just Halloween happen to happen on one of the nights having the cruise?
Right.
Now it's a Halloween cruise because as soon as the opening shot, they had the like black and orange like garland hanging and stuff. That was like everywhere, like the shot of.
And you know it's Halloween if there's a paper pumpkin hanging somewhere, and you're like, bingo, bango, it's Halloween.
That shit was cool too. I really like.
And they announced the,
multiple times.
Like it kept being, like repeated.
Yeah.
So.
They made no doubt.
Like you packed this big ass costume. You're not going to forget there's a masquerade party.
Yeah, no one's going to forget that.
Yeah.
We still doing this?
What's that? And we see it's one of Amazing Alonzo's groupies who with a Halloween mask on that somebody made the costume. And I just want to say 2 things about Karen. We kind of talked about it before. Looking at this, I came to the following conclusion. And this is from working in the medical field for some years. Karen needs drugs in her life, right? And there's 2 choices here. Either you keep the scarf on and do drugs, or you take the scarf off and do even more drugs to just keep you balanced. She needs help, man. She needs help. She's that's crazy for a white line on your cheek.
Like, where would you possibly find drugs?
Oh, not on this ship.
I think she needs drugs.
No,
she needs something else.
She needs to have a drink,
like a decent size skin cream. It's really all she needs.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing too. Like, didn't they have concealer? And like, I know they had foundation. You just cover that up.
Can't she like oxycute them?
Like, put some blush on that shit. Like, I don't know.
It wouldn't. They could have made it some kind of scar. Like make her, like for real, make her hideous. Where you have to like overlook, like make the audience feel that. Don't put a white, pencil mark on her face.
What year was this?
78.
So I'm curious. When was
scars invented?
Like Evil Dead and
77.
I'm just trying to think of like the progression of like,
special effects and all that.
Yeah, like, but I feel like that was around the same
it was,
time.
It wasn't up to snuff.
Right, but I'm like,
but I think they weren't trying to make it like super gory.
Yeah, you could have just had like a red line, like a fat red marker line, and it would have been the same. It was just,
or make it comical. Right? Like, like.
Well, then it goes back to are they trying? You talk about Julie being whatever. Are they trying to make women appear to be like weak?
Like all they care about is what other people think of them in that way,
right? And
based on beauty,
and they just want a man, and like
I think based on how it ended up with Karen, that the whole thing about the scar, it wasn't really about the scar on the outside. So I think that's what they were going for. That's my
totally. Yes. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Right.
Julie says something that wraps that up nicely too, like the way she.
Well, and Julie was doing like she's just trying to prop her up the whole time.
Yeah. Julie was being a good friend, man. She was being a real good friend. She hooked her up.
Julie came across real strong in this episode. I
totally agree. If any of you ever get scars like that, cutting you right off. can't be seen with
we
someone
can't
with
have
a
that.
mild
We can't
scar.
have that association.
All right.
But think about it, right? Like,
Will
so
you be able to see the scar? That's the actual.
That's an excellent point. You all may be very scarred.
yeah, that's funny.
You're like, hey, did you hear his new scar? Nope.
We're approaching the highlight of the episode here.
Here we go.
Steubing, I like to call him groupie number 4, approaches Alonzo and Ramona by the pool. Tells him that he was hired to perform. Dude, Steubing, so ridiculous, man. He tries to be all.
Was he hired to perform like roving on the boat, or just like the show at the end?
Like, if I snap my fingers, I want an illusion. Like, what? I'd love to see that contract.
Like the whole thing, like, so the last episode I did with you guys, where it was like him and the beef with the chef, right? He was like a total dick.
Yep.
And now he's just kind of like super like sucking up to this guy.
Yeah.
He's a very wishy-washy kind of dude.
Well,
inconsistent character. Inconsistent character.
Yeah, I think they hired him to perform, right? So it's like, dance, monkey, dance. If I tell you what to do, you better
pretty much.
But if I'm Alonzo, I'm like, man, I got a show on Halloween night. You're telling me if I like walk down the hallway and somebody wants to see an illusion, I got to do it? Like,
well, and also he's like on a bad one too, because like his girl, he thinks he left him for the lame captain. Like,
yeah, he clearly lost his cape.
Yeah.
So, it's in the laundry room somewhere.
Well, what am I
gonna do? I already did the donkey thing.
Well, he's being worshipped by 3 groupies and a cruise ship captain. You know what I mean? He's sucking it all in.
Yeah, 3 witches.
I don't think sucking it all in. I think it's taking it all in. I don't think it's sucking it all in.
Don't forget the guy who comes up later too. He's got a 5th groupie coming up here too.
Oh, yes, he does. Boy. Alonzo tells Steubing to think about one of his meals, and I wrote, which one? Because we learned a few episodes back that Steubing daily has a donut delivered to him in the afternoon with like a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. Yeah, at 3:00 in the afternoon, delivered to his cabin, I swear.
Big old jelly donut.
Big old jelly donut and like a cup of coffee every day. Anyone that's eating a jelly donut at 3 p.m. every day is probably not adhering to the three meal policy.
That's just the donut we know about.
Yes, yeah, we don't know anything about, so he says, ask him, he says, can you see the dessert that followed this meal? And you see a huge, delectable ice cream sundae covered in whipped cream, chocolate sauce, and an enormous cherry. Oof. 1/3 of the pool is what? I just wrote, no, stop this now, stop.
I gotta say, that was the worst paper mache project I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it didn't even. It looked like it looked like newspaper. Like it
was
didn't
grand
even
though.
What?
Nothing moved.
No, it was just
no movement.
Terrible. Like, I mean, I was like, okay.
It definitely didn't look good enough to rush over and start jamming my hands in it to eat it.
No, like you could tell it was like square, like the pieces were square going around and not like ice cream like texture. It was really disturbing to me.
Well, here's what I don't understand about illusions, and maybe I'm too cynical a person to be fooled by these, but going in it's an illusion. So is part of the illusion that you're hypnotized into thinking it's real?
I don't know. He did it so like short. There was no method to his madness because it changed at different times. Like
right. Exactly. Like if I'm talking to you and I'm like, oh, hi, what's your job? And like, I'm an illusionist. I create illusions. Oh, yeah. Can I see one? Yes. I'm going to create an illusion. And you create an illusion. I know it's an illusion. I'm not going to go over and start drinking pool water. I would hope.
The whole thing just makes no sense whatsoever.
Makes no sense. It was just terrible.
When they first introduced like him being an illusionist, I thought it was going to be him. Like David Blaine or something, right? Doesn't he levitate? I thought it was more going to be like his
tricks,
right? Or make the Statue of Liberty disappear.
Like he was going to do.
Like in the end, he's a magician. He didn't perform any magic other than just say like, "Hey, look at that! There's donkeys."
I kind of think he did with that beer bottle. Like, I mean, that was pure magic.
But did he like slip LSD in that guy's drink?
Just real quick.
Right.
I don't know.
I want to go on that cruise. Shoot.
But I kind of want a T-shirt with that. I'm just saying.
They're going to have them.
They're in the merch store.
Yeah, on Project Con.
We're
going to sell them there on our website. We have all sorts of things now. We have
you guys have beanies?
But now we do. Now that you asked about it, sure do. Our people are listening in as we speak.
I just want to know if you guys have tattoos of scars, like little scratches.
That's what you said. Temporary tattoos of white lines.
Yeah, I mean I think that might be a hit. Just saying.
Calling Karen Scar. You know what you do? You sell it in an invisible bag because there's scars on the inside.
And we can talk about this stuff later.
I like it. We got a whole thing going.
The scar never went away.
Oh, so yeah, Stewie, they're trying to eat the sundae. They're drinking pool water. Alonzo snaps his fingers. Boom, Sundae disappears. And Stewie is such a dummy. He walks up all, with his stupid shorts on, just like just a kid. Oh, that was just so just. Ugh.
You know what I was thinking about when they were drinking the pool water? How many kids peed in that? like who peed in that? And they're drinking it. Like
there's so much pee in that water.
And then I was like, they didn't know it was chlorine. Is there?
Well, is it chlorine? Do you think, or do you think it's a saltwater pool?
Back then, it's got to be chlorine.
You think?
It's probably bleach. Probably not even chlorine. Yeah. It's just bleach.
No, you're right. Yeah,
like borax.
It's bleach in urine.
Yeah,
saltwater pools are relatively
baking soda or something like that in there. I think they're just experimenting with things back at that point.
There's ketchup.
Just a lot of recipes.
Little kids lying. I don't know.
This is a big commercial.
Guy who died.
Yeah, the guy who died.
Oh no! Right, because they put people who die in the freezer, but the big ice cream was in the pool, so there might be a body in the pool.
There's a lot of things stacking up unexpectedly. Big commercial break after this wonderful illusion. When we return from break, I really wish there was a way to watch the commercials, the original commercials that aired.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be so awesome.
They're probably like Marlboro commercials and
just
all
hard liquor
and alcohol.
It would just be. We see Alonzo and Ramona entering the dining room, and Ramona says Alonzo, this is a good one, says Alonzo was too busy to get married when he was successful and too poor to get married when he wasn't.
Been there, Alonzo.
Jeez. Ramona telling it like it is. No wonder he's like, hit the road, Ramona. I don't want to hear your. Don't you know who I am? Alonzo says, tonight is for you and only for you.
Was it
anybody makes a promise this big in Act 2, it's not gonna happen.
No. Nope. These are Act 2 promises, right? This is not an Act 1 promise at all.
No. Do you think that he really meant it and he got sidetracked with his
I think in the moment.
His comeback?
Yeah. He seems like a fly by the seat of his pants kind of guy. I don't think you know what I mean? He's probably like right now that seems fun.
Hey, fame is a fickle mistress. Like you lose it and you get it back.
Yeah,
I understand.
Random diner approaches Alonzo and asks him to do an illusion at this dinner table. And I will say this guy looks very familiar, and I don't know why he looks familiar.
Yeah, that guy was a dickhead.
He was
first of all, Harvey Greenswine.
Yeah,
his name.
His character name?
Like,
yes.
Really?
Take a walk, buddy. Come on.
Wow.
Or Vincent Price is just really tall.
Nah, he was a short little guy.
He was a little guy.
Yeah.
Persistent though.
That's true. The random diner approaches Alonzo, asks him to do an illusion at his dinner table.
Best illusion ever.
I'd be like, you better show me that cash, little tiny weird man. I'm not doing that. You're crazy.
You better buy me a drink.
Something. Dinner. Something. Give me an app.
Yeah.
Buy me an Anytizer.
Anytizer?
Yeah, don't limit yourself.
Baked Alaska back there.
That's true.
Start frying them up.
Yeah, it came up last week. Give me some baked Alaska. Give me that. Yeah, I'd do it for that. Alonzo arrives at this dinner table. Ramona says, not tonight. I'm sorry. Ramona says, not tonight. And Alonzo is like, I'm gonna do Amazing Alonzo Ramona. It's not the Amazing Ramona. Sorry. You better check your driver's license. Shoot.
Are you there, Alonzo? It's me, Ramona.
So Alonzo arrives at this dinner table with these weird tiny people. He then makes Isaac's head appear on top of a beer.
What was that beer? Was it Coors Light? Like, did it give the brand of the beer?
No,
Heineken.
Did it say
Heineken?
Heineken?
Heineken boat.
We've seen Heineken loaded onto the boat, so we assume it's Heineken.
Okay.
Okay. In a dark bottle?
It was in a glass. Bottle? It was like a tall,
Yeah, they poured it in a Pilsner glass.
Like one of those like tall like pint glasses.
Yeah.
These guests are just amazed, and they're like, "Please, you must join us for dinner." He accepts.
They also they're constantly like, "You must tell me how you did that trick, man. Do you know how magic works? He could tell you."
Please,
I'm asking. This isn't Penn and Teller.
That Isaac head on the top of the beer, that really threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
At that point, I was like, okay, what the fuck is going on with this guy?
Yeah.
I mean, are we going to get?
We started off with the donkeys, and now we're like putting heads on beers. Like, what's going on here?
But then things kind of de-escalate from there. The illusions kind of go down.
That was the pinnacle of his.
Right, and then they just kind of went down. It was like change in pocket, and they played freeze tag. Those were the illusions at the end. So.
Yeah.
It's funny. So we see Steubing, old busybody Steubing, sees Ramona kind of sitting alone. He butts in and invites her to dinner at the captain's table. Like, he doesn't have enough going on. Now he's got to make sure no one dines alone. Like, really?
She walking away? Like she was going to leave?
He's still horned up from last week.
Horned up. Yeah, that's true.
As much as I hate Steubing, that was kind of a stand-up move by him.
Yeah. Gentleman, I would say. Gentleman.
Listen, I know Merrill.
I do agree.
He has ulterior motives. Don't let him fool you.
Well, yeah, of course he does.
He'll just disappoint you if you start to have faith in him. So it's just easier to go in like
Ramona. He disappointed Ramona in the end.
Well, he's giving her a smooch and all. Like, just mind your own beeswax, Steubing.
He's like,
I'm
going to take the couch.
He's a Walmart greeter, is what he is. That's all he is on this boat.
I have it later, but it applies now. I just have a note in here that says I can hear Mike Taylor's notes, because when I watch these shows now, when Steubing does anything dumb, I can just hear your voice.
Dude, it's all I want is consistency in character. That's all I'm asking for.
Well, you think they're still developing the characters at this point?
31 episodes.
Yeah, 31 episodes. So.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. We talked about it last week, and that script and continuity people are back. So they brought in two of the, I don't know if say more popular, but two of their busier writers, I'll say that, right? That fit this formula pretty well, were brought on to be script and continuity advisors. Because we feel like something's coming soon.
Yeah, we haven't really seen it pay off yet, but
nothing yet.
Yeah.
Other than I'd have to go back and look about his
ex-wife.
Red buttons.
Oh, his uncle? The creepy uncle?
Yeah, of whether or not that was the dad's brother. Remember that whole thing where you're like, is that the dad's brother? They didn't really make that clear.
Yeah, we'll find that out next week.
Really?
Stuff. Well, next week is the daughter episode.
Oh, is it? I didn't know
that. Oh, it's a big one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's okay. That's exciting.
Don't worry, I have a question at the end of the show that we will all answer.
Can we get back on track here, guys? Come on.
Sorry, buddy. I apologize, sir.
Jesus.
We see Karen and Julie entering the dining room. Karen with another headscarf on to cover a scratch under her eye. Karen says she'd rather be back in the cabin. I hear you, Karen. I'd rather be back in the cabin as well. I totally understand. I don't have a scratch under my eye, but you know.
Yeah, she's just like when Princess Leia put the Death Star plans in R2-D2.
I was going to, yes.
Yeah, you're my only hope. Come on, Julie, you're my only hope. That's funny. Julie says she has to go talk with Steubing, leaves the table. In scooches Gopher. a very aggressive move here. These guys are being very aggressive. And I'm guessing this is
clearly on break.
Yeah, in uniform. Like what that that's the thing too. I wanted to say that before is if you're Vincent Price, much like if you're Gopher, do you really want the Vincent Price being a talent? Do they really dine with guests? And do you really want crew other than the captain dining with guests? You know what I mean? It's weird. I would think you'd want more of a separation because it's your vacation. Like you didn't come on the boat to hang out with boat people.
I don't know much about cruises. Never been on, but the staff does not interact with the guests.
I don't know. I disagree with that because
we've been to some.
Well, think about going to a bar. Who do you interact with? The bartender.
That's totally different.
That's very different, though.
But it's also at a time of entertainment. They want everyone to feel comfortable and stuff. So, of course, they're going around to be like, hey,
But isn't that the role of Julie? Because isn't it Julie said in the past, like, it's my job to make sure everyone's having a good time?
Yeah, she's kind of that, activities
like
director.
Facilitator
right. Facilitator and engagement and stuff like that. But, the Doc and
Docs just stay creepy. Like, what do you...
Perverts.
Yeah.
Yeah, go make sure, all my luggage is in my fucking room, dude.
Wait, did we miss the allusion of... Was this before or after about telling him to go away?
No, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Gopher gets up to get a flower for the table, which is just all... he returns. Doc is in his seat, and this is going to set up that illusion.
Real quick.
He came out he was probably under that table.
That was very Dak trip from the Three's Company. I felt like that's
a little physical.
Yeah.
Doc and Gopher argue a little. Karen gets up from her seat, and then now they're sitting across from each other, Doc and Gopher.
I thought that was funny, honestly.
That was funny.
Yes.
That whole bit. I thought it was very funny.
That was funny. I love the physical part of it. Bobby's lying again, everybody. He's telling people his dad's in the CIA instead of being a dentist. Well, there it is right there. Okay, great. Mr. Dillar or Dr. Dillar, Gary Collins, decides that it's time to have a chat with Bobby. We're going to make sure this Bobby kid stops lying. Mm-hmm. He's telling him hey, your mother and I are very much in love. And Bobby's like, you're just going to leave and I... And there was this super uncomfortable close-up of the camera.
Holy crap. So their heads were so big.
Yeah. You could see the inside of Gary Collins' pores.
Yes. And then those teeth of Bobby. I just couldn't. I was fixated on those teeth.
Old yuck mouth Bobby.
They were trying out something new.
Something.
But his dad's a dentist. Those bitches should have been straight.
They didn't think
maybe that's maybe
work.
Yeah, but it's ideal for a dentist to have a kid with bad teeth because you can practice at home.
But
damn, Bobby, don't eat that sugar.
Well,
I don't want to have to.
Who can't drink.
He's been away. He's neglected Bobby,
and he's a bad dentist.
Which actually makes sense.
Just
now,
do you think Mrs. Diller, when they were Splitsville,
a metaphor for his relationship with his father?
Maybe when they were Splitsville, Mrs. Diller was dating a lot of candy salesmen.
Just to spite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Who are you dating, Mom? Nobody. Just Johnny Coca-Cola. Nobody important.
Sugar Daddy.
Yeah, Steven Sugar. All the Sugar family.
Yeah.
Those
wax teeth.
Wax teeth. You get the super close up.
So many levels.
Gary Collins says, your mother and I, there were things we just didn't know how to say to one another. And it's taken me a year.
Bobby.
What?
That his dad is basically breaking it down your mom and I had some problems, both mentally and physically.
Yeah. That was funny.
Yeah, but to say to your son, you can't be a phony or your whole life is phony.
Words to live by.
And be like, hey, Bobby, brush after meals and stop lying. It's real simple. George Washington teeth.
How about I smack you if you lie again?
No kidding.
Oh, that girl was beyond brushing.
He had a mahogany grill, the freshest cut wood in his mouth. Bobby says, I'm going to try not to lie anymore. Yeah, we'll see. You know what? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what happens. Let's see if Bobby's learned his lesson. Another Act 2 promise. Oh, we should track the Act 2 promises.
Well,
that's a good one.
2, if I remember correctly.
Alonzo and Ramona. Ramona's not happy that Alonzo has quickly put her on the pay no mind list. Ramona gets into the Sausage King elevator, and those doors close so fast. They look so fake. Elevators just don't close that fast. It was like a shunk. Like, wait, no. Not that elevator.
I don't remember the elevator.
Oh, that's how quick it shut.
Yeah, that's how quick. It just looked like a wall.
Yeah.
Ramona gets in there crying. We see Karen, Doc, Gopher walking together arm in arm. They arrive at Julie's cabin. Doc and Gopher begin arguing over Karen. They move back a few steps. This is the dinner scene all over again. Julie pops her head out. Karen goes in the room. She's gone.
Yeah. Filler. Good, but filler.
Filler.
Yeah. But at least it was fun.
Yeah,
I liked that they end up going to have a nightcap after she splits. And they ask who's buying, and he says Isaac.
Well, she split. She wanted to leave. Remember, she went to that table, and then some lady joined at that table, so she couldn't go there. I was sort of surprised that she ended up.
I mean, Mike, she was trying to leave the big table at the end of the episode, so I'm not surprised she's trying to get out of that date. So
you make a very good point. Very good point. Ramona's knocking on Stubing's door. I wrote a big book of shipwrecks again. What do we want to learn about? He answers in PJs. Why would he? All right. He answers in PJs, and I'm like, what time is it? Ramona's dressed from dinner.
Yeah. She's like, I'm sorry, it's so late. And I'm like, why is he answering the door?
What is he? Right. Either it's not late and he's answering the door, or it's late and he shouldn't be answering the door, right? Like, why are you?
Well, what did she do after she had dinner with him, right?
Yes.
So she leaves sadly into the elevator. He ostensibly goes upstairs, and she waits around for a while?
It's like they left at the same time, and somehow Stubing had time to shower, put on PJs, and then go to sleep and fall asleep.
He should have come out like a night before Christmas kerchief.
Something. Or he comes out like when they share pajamas, except he's like the girl. He has the shirt.
I thought he should have came out like Willy Wonka, the grandparents or something, like in a, little nightgown.
One big bed that they shared. He just comes out nude, and he has a little captain's hat over his junk. Yeah. Aloha. Ramona, he answers the door, and why would you go to the captain to ask this? That's a BS reason to like initiate conversation. You don't go to the cabin saying, is there another cabin?
Because the guy at the front desk is busy trying to bang Julie's friend.
Oh, yeah, there's nobody at
the front desk. No one's working, bro. Right. No one's working.
Yeah. Whose garden's safe? We don't even talk about that anymore. Stubing asks why. Ramona, again, TMI, says she can't go back to Alonzo again. And Stubing, as if he's been keeping abreast of all of their relationships, ins and outs for years, says, girl, I'm surprised you've been with him this long.
Yeah, like how did they become besties? I want to know. That happened really fast.
He's a chameleon. That's what I'm saying. He's
desperate.
And he's like, hey, it's cool. You can sleep here in my bed.
Yeah, I'll sleep in this room. It's okay. Whatever. And then Stubing makes the statement of the episode, in my opinion. Stubing says, it's ironic. He can make us see what there isn't, but he can't see what is.
Yep, he was pretty proud of that one.
Oh, he wrote that himself. I think that was a Gavin McLeod original. Yeah. He added that. Do you mind if I ad lib?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Gavin. Stubing says Ramona can sleep in his cabin. I'm sorry. Stubing says Ramona can sleep in his cabin. Stubing will sleep in his office. I'm like, what the? just irritated by this part of it. Like this, I don't even know. This wasn't even necessary. Alonzo wakes up in his cabin, sees Ramona's not there, sees the bed's made, and he just assumes she got up and made the bed. Which is, I guess, didn't hear anything.
It helped to create the conflict between the two characters.
Plus,
that's true.
He's oblivious to her, like he's just, one to his fame because he's like,
It's terrible.
Do you make your bed when you're in a hotel?
No.
What?
Do you make a bed when you're in the hotel?
Yes.
I don't make a bed in my house.
What if you're there for multiple days? Do you do it? If you're there for like 3 days. Yeah.
Good for you.
Wash my sheets once a week, my blankets. Yeah. So what you're saying, you're a dirtball.
No, we wash the sheets a lot because we wash everything a lot now. So
I get that. Julie's waking Karen up for her breakfast dates with Doc and Gopher. Crazy Karen, who's not on drugs, asked if Julie told Doc and Gopher to pay her so much attention.
Karen, who's never seen an episode of The Love Boat, apparently.
Never. Like,
yeah. Are these two horny guys horny for me?
Yeah, that scratch makes you a hard pass. Nah. Julie says, no. Karen says, I wish I could believe you. Second best line of the episode right here. Tough Love Julie says, the only one pitying you is you.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Julie. She should win an Oscar for this.
That should be a t-shirt.
Right? Project Con. There you go, right there.
Merch store.
Alonzo.
Your merch store is full.
Merch store is good. It's packed.
It really
right
is.
now. It's packed.
No link. No URL available yet.
Nothing yet. Just a bunch of stuff. Alonzo's groupies, minus Steubing, are walking around the pool area. Here we go with that illusion. And they're ogling a couple of shirtless studs. And then they ogle 2 more shirtless hunks. It was a little weird. Camera moves to Bobby, who's at the pool. He's sitting down next to his friend, Lisping Lucy.
Lisping
Lucy. Lucy tells him to go away because Bobby Dillar's a liar. Bobby tells Lucy that he will introduce her to the Fonz. He's my older brother.
Man, every week they mention Fonzie. You're not getting Henry Winkler on the show, guys. It's not happening.
Didn't Bobby just say?
I missed that part.
You did?
Yeah.
It was a quick. I had to go back and listen to it a couple times. It was a quick little audio.
Fonzie was his brother?
Yeah, it's his brother.
Oh yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah, Lucy pushes him into the pool and walks away.
Yeah,
nah.
Like nope.
No. We see the groupies are calling for Alonzo and they greet him by the pool. He says, I'll do a special illusion just for you. And he asks them to look into one of their purses. We see Ramona walking up with Steubing. She said she left her lipstick, or walking up to Steubing. She says she left her lipstick in Steubing's cabin last night. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
Behind
Jezebel. Alonzo hears this and he's confused. He pardons himself and leaves the groupies. He goes to Ramona and asks if she spent some time in the captain's cabin. Ramona says, I spent all night in the captain's cabin and we are through, girl.
Yeah. She ended.
Although she says it's over and then says, how's that for a neat trick? That was pretty good.
Roasted.
Damn.
Boom. Sassy.
Yeah.
Alonzo drop. Steubing's on the phone. You never see anybody on the phone there. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, Steubing's on the phone and Ramona gives him a kiss on the cheek in front of Alonzo. What are you doing? She's doing
exactly what she needed to do.
It's a little familiar for someone you don't even know. Smooching on cheeks.
Worked out.
Whatever.
Well, you never know what happened that night.
Yeah.
That's true.
Back to these groupies. They're pressuring Alonzo to do an illusion. He says, look in your purse and you'll find $1 million. That'd be great. And they look and they find loose change instead. Yeah, we see Gopher walks up to Alonzo. He's like, hey.
Something odd about that coinage, too. It looked almost like Canadian currency.
It was odd. It was like some weird...
Loonies? You think it was loonies?
The loonies.
Yeah, it wasn't like quarters and nickels and dimes. I could be wrong. It just
unless it's like dollars, like silver dollar. But they didn't look like silver dollars, though.
Play money.
They're plastic coins. It was terrible.
Jimmy Carter's currency.
Worst illusion ever. Gopher walks up to Alonzo. Alonzo says, hey, I'm not creating an illusion for you. Gopher says he needs help with a lady. Explains that he's crazy about Karen and that Doc is interested in her. Refers to Doc as a snake in the woodpile.
Ooh.
It's a little serious, man. I think.
He kind of is.
You know, it's kind of the... Gopher wants Alonzo to hypnotize Doc so he'll stop being interested in Karen. So Alonzo's like, all right, this is what I'll do.
I got you.
I got you. Don't even worry, Gopher. Whatever your name is. Said every time Karen's name is mentioned, Doc will respond with, you have Karen and she's perfect. She's perfect for you. Great. This is wonderful. This is all Gopher's ever wanted. Now I can finally date this scarred up woman of my dreams. Alonzo walks up to...
Remember, he liked that lady with the bandage up nose.
The thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the 1/5 of your face that I can see is fantastic.
Beauty on the inside. That's all Gopher's about.
That's all he cares about.
Neither of those two dudes are like super picky.
No, I mean, she walked on the ship and they were like, oh my God, she is beautiful. And you're like, dude, you just saw her for like a second.
I mean, these guys are like that with complete strangers. You got to think they figured they had an in with Julie, right? Yeah. So it's just like...
It'd be funny, though, if like, maybe one of them thinks she's smoking hot and the other one's like, I don't know what you see. All I see is a scar, just to get let that darkness in a little bit,
I think the big question is, are they ever going to find love?
Not like this. Not like this. They're not.
Not
on the boat?
Nope.
It's going to be on their days off.
It's complicated. It's just complicated.
So Alonzo...
Yeah, I was going to say, when their days off, what do they do? Just take a nap?
Just nap on the boat.
We talked about that on the last episode, back.
Yeah.
What's the deal with their days off? Like, what do they do?
They go swimming.
So the only day off that we've actually seen was in the opening episode of this season. Isaac was supposed to be on vacation. It got canceled, and he took his vacation on the boat.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Awful.
Right. Yeah.
Did anyone?
And then the boat almost sank. So
yeah, he got a promotion out of it.
Face, Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, okay.
Yeah. Lonzo walks up to Doc, does some bibbity boppity boo nonsense, and walks away. Gopher mentions Karen. We all remember what's supposed to happen. Doc said, "I'm so glad you came to your senses. She's perfect for me." Looks like old Alonzo is not quite himself, right?
Did him dirty.
Uh-oh.
Did he?
Uh-oh.
Did he just get it on?
Say again?
So, like, out of practice and, like, kind of trying to work his way back.
It's that Ramona thing, man. He
can't. Good point, baby. He's distracted a little bit.
It's his mojo.
Or was he just being a jerk? I feel like he was just being a jerk.
Maybe he can't do a trick without Ramona in the room.
That's what it is. Like, it's his mojo. Like, he doesn't have any confidence when she's not around.
She's
but
his
when
yoga.
she's around, he doesn't even want to be around her.
Yeah,
so that's nice. That sounds like a good. Time for the masquerade ball. Whew, I know we've all been waiting for this.
Hells yeah.
So Julie and Karen are leaving Julie's cabin. Julie tells Karen, "Hey, you don't have to wear a veil." And Karen's like, "Hey, one step at a time." Whoa.
If you were this self-conscious and you were going to a masquerade party, wouldn't you wear a mask?
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing in the world. It's like, this is the perfect party for me.
Right.
I only go to masquerade parties.
Yeah.
I don't even know what her costume was because she was wearing the same thing the whole entire trip. Just
hooded woman.
Colors.
Like see-through hooded woman.
I'm suicidal.
That's funny. We see the band, as mentioned before, they're wearing pumpkins on their head.
That was
this
awesome.
is a funky party.
Yeah, they were good. Well, that's what
a hell of a party going on.
That's what made me wonder. Gosh, hearing that music and just everyone dancing had me thinking, I wonder if is that Jammin' Jimmy Warren up there? Is he the third pumpkin?
There was no slow sax.
It didn't seem like slow sax. I don't know. Everybody's in costume, and I wrote Doc's either dressed as the Wolfman or Cousin It. I'm not sure at this point. Later on, I figured it out, but
yeah.
First glance, I'm like, what the?
Yeah, they went classic characters there.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. I
thought it was a Chewbacca costume originally, but then I'm like, no, it wasn't a Chewbacca costume.
Could have been.
I thought
that's interesting. That's right around the time.
We were there yet with Star Wars costumes. No, definitely not.
If you had one of those plastic masks,
it had the bandolier.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah.
And the plastic suit, is that what you're talking?
Oh, yeah, with the little it's like a smock and like this little hole for your mouth. Like this horrible.
Yeah.
And if you have long eyelashes, you can't wear the mask.
Yeah. And it came in a box, and it was
plastic. That aisle in the toy store that had those boxes lined up. Jesus.
I was Buck Rogers one year. I think that was one of my favorites back in the day.
I got pictures of me in a Donny Osmond plastic costume
with his big smile.
It was. He was definitely smiling.
That's pretty awesome.
When we have you back on for a Donny Osmond episode, you got to find those pictures.
Can't do Donny without Marie, so
right.
His first concert.
Who's your first concert? Donny, yeah.
Yeah, Donny Osmond.
Was it really?
Yes.
Yeah, my mom was a big Donny Osmond fan. Donny, the Monkees.
Yeah.
Tom Jones too, maybe?
Oh, Tom Jones is awesome. I would have went to go see
Tom Jones. I thought Isaac looked really amazing as Frankenstein.
That was really
he just looked a little bizarre. It was wild.
This is what I wanted to get to because I feel like that Isaac as Frankenstein was awesome.
I agree.
One of the highlights of the whole show.
Yeah.
He looked awesome.
So this goes back. Their costumes were amazing, the makeup and everything. So then why was her scar so lame?
Maybe they ran out. Maybe they spent all the money on the makeup for the costumes.
So maybe they filmed the party scene first. And then they just added it in. They were like, okay, let's just kind of like get
this is all we have left. All we have left is this whiteout paste.
Yeah. Like, what's her story going to be? We're just going to give her a little scratch. Like...
Yeah. It's a metaphor. Don't worry about it.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but there was a hot dog dancing in the crowd.
I did see that. That actually.
That was a solid. It also kind of looked like a corn dog though at the same time.
Or a sausage, the way. But anyway.
For a show that we have said many times skimps on extras to the point where it feels like the boat is empty. To do that many people in a party scene in costume was actually I appreciated that. They put the effort in on that one.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I agree.
Maybe not on the script, but they definitely put it in on the casting. Yeah. So
I was impressed. I was checking out all the costumes, being like, "Oh, that one's cool."
Yeah, because we were also
interesting.
What costume? What kind of weird maybe costume could we be?
Yeah, but the creepy thing is the groupies. We're all witches.
Yeah.
They had their nose and they all looked alike. And I was like...
Sanderson sisters.
No, they were just like... I don't know.
Just bad.
Well, speaking of the groupies, we see the groupies with Steubing dressed as a pirate. Oof.
Not a pirate.
And the groupies are they're done with Alonzo and he's missing. Where's Alonzo? Steubing's all fired up and he's like, I'm gonna go get him, that SOB. I'm gonna go bring him here to do an illusion.
I paid him $30.
Yeah, paid him $30. Steubing knocks on his door. We see Alonzo and I'm like, is he sipping cold duck? Couldn't tell. Steubing says everyone's ready and waiting, and he says, I'm unable to create any illusion other than failure.
He wasn't wrong.
Listen,
he wasn't wrong.
It was very dramatic.
It was very dramatic.
Dramatic, like over the top, pathetic.
Basically he broke it down. He says, I need the sweet steadying hand of Ramona in order to do my illusion. And said that Steubing, you stole her from me. And Steubing's like, what? No, I didn't.
I just let her sleep in my cabin.
Yeah, she left her lipstick there.
My lipstick, yeah.
Just being a J. Steubing tells Alonso she's in love with him. And that's the only man that Ramona wants. You dummy. He gets all indignant about it. Mm-hmm. Steubing tells Alonso you have 10 minutes to come to the party and do an illusion. All right. Bam.
And then he says, do I have an alternative? And he said, yeah, 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5.
Oh, yeah. That was awesome.
That was a baller thing to do. That was kind of
Gavin McLeod is good. That is the Steubing I want.
That's all I want. I want that guy.
Totally.
He's
totally agree. Totally
don't get too comfortable.
Like he's exasperated, but really for no good reason. Like that's the Steubing. He's really good at that.
I agree.
Yeah. Lead the ship.
100%. Exactly. We go to commercial after that wonderful bit right there. And then we come back. The party continues, and this party is hopping. No drugs in this party at all. Nothing illicit going on in this party.
That we know of.
In international waters.
54.
What was the drink? Oh, I liked how they named the drink.
Oh, I missed the drink.
Doc wanted...
It was like the punch bowl one where he was like,
with the smoke and all that.
And it was pretty cool. Scorpions and blah blah, but like.
And then Gopher as Dracula wanted a Bloody Mary.
Yes,
pretty good. Yeah. So Julie, who looks sort of ridiculous, thanks Gopher and Doc. We're paying so much attention. This is going to be some overhearing going wrong. You could tell already. Doc and Gopher flip a coin.
That's nice. That's nice for women.
That's the way it should be.
Can you just flip the coin in private? Maybe not do it in front of the person.
But here's the thing, right? I get it, yes, but they're vying for her. Like if they fought each other with swords, you'd think it was romantic. That's just the modern day sword fighting. They're flipping a coin. It's not like they're flipping a coin to see who has to take her out.
I think it's kind of ballsy that their egos are that big that they think that she wants them.
Yeah.
Like they automatically are fighting over a girl thinking that, oh my God, she's in love with me. Like,
yeah. Well, she's got that scar. So
yeah, she's
on the inside.
Yeah. She doesn't have many choices. So she's going to take it.
So this is basically,
she's bottom barrel right now.
Yeah. Bottom of barrel.
So this is basically every Hallmark Christmas movie. There's a misunderstanding with 15 minutes left. Usually it's because somebody misunderstands or overhears something. So she totally misunderstands the coin flip in a crowded, loud-ass party. She sees a coin being flipped, assumes it's for her, and with that misunderstanding, goes to commit suicide immediately.
Oh, so are you thinking that she's thinking the coin flip is whoever wins the coin flip doesn't have to be with her?
What else would it be?
Yeah.
Well, but that's such a leap. It's such a leap to be like,
yes, Mike.
Literally. It's just funny. It's funny.
Oh, I'm sorry. She's been grounded in real logic.
That's true. That's true. She's been consistently,
right on the beam.
Yeah, I wrote that too. Karen runs out of the party and it immediately tries to leap the rail. Like, damn. It just runs from the thing right to the rail. Wow.
The real tragedy is her scarf fell.
Well, you don't see Julie chasing her out this time, though. No, where's Julie? No. Where's the cat?
She's using somebody as a scratching post.
Something.
Yeah, maybe she was working. Finally, someone was working.
Oh, that's true. Bobby the liar sees this and runs back into the party.
He's a hero.
He finds his parents, and Gary Collins is in this amazing skeleton uniform. I had Bad Guys from Karate Kid in mind when I saw the face paint. It's like, what a commitment to a anyway.
Well, he packed light because he didn't wear anything on the deck. So
no, he didn't wear anything on the deck.
The costume.
And it covered up his tan that he got.
Shout out Cobra Kai.
Shout out Cobra Kai.
Do you think Karate Kid ripped off this episode of the Love Boat?
Just the Halloween costume. That's it. They don't believe Bobby. Why? Because Bobby is a liar.
Right.
Bobby gets
Big Cry Wolf Kid.
Big Cry Wolf Kid. Bobby and Lucy run back to Karen and tell her not to jump. She's taking an awful long time.
Yourself, lady?
Like, how long you been on the top rail? Like,
yeah.
She was moseying, man. She was like,
she wasn't
moseying.
She just wanted attention.
I mean,
that's like when Ric Flair would get up on the top rope. Like,
someone give me a drink.
Well, you know what's happening. He's going to do a whole lot of this. Somebody's going to get up and they're going to throw, and he's going to land on the side of his back. Yeah. It's just. Karen tells the kids that they wouldn't understand. You're probably not, because they're kids. Bobby starts to lie about his mom committed suicide. She killed herself. That's a direct quote.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This gets Karen off the rail. But instantly I'm like, no, don't get off the rail, Karen. He's lying to you. I'm screaming at my television set. Get back on the rail. Really do that. I'm sorry. Yes.
But can I just say, like, that moment was kind of eye-opening, because when we realized that, like, Bobby's mom is not Bobby's mom, and Bobby's dad is his real dad.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because he said his mom.
It was a lie.
But he was lying.
He's a liar, buddy.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
he's a liar.
Yeah, I fell for it again.
See?
He was lying.
Fool me once, Bobby. Shame on me.
Fooled you, bud.
Fool me twice, Bobby. Shame on me. Fool me 3, 4, 5 times. Shame on me.
So, in the middle of Bobby's story, at one point, Karen's like, "Nope," and she starts to lunge forward. Were you going to kill yourself in front of 2 children? Like, send them in and then do it. Like, do not do that, Karen. Jesus. Bobby's been through enough, and Lucy has a lisp.
Yeah, it's complicated.
And a bad haircut.
Bad haircut.
There's no recovering from that combination.
So she gets down off the rail. Karen, Bobby, and Lucy run into Bobby's parents. Karen realizes then, after talking to, meeting Bobby's parents, obviously, that Bobby was full of turkey. Tells Karen, "It's my last lie," which is a lie. Don't trust Bobby. To this day, he's a liar.
So
he doesn't have any of the roles.
I still believe
that's it.
Last lie.
So when she finds out that Bobby lied, I wanted her to push Bobby out of the way and swan dive.
Just swan.
Off the boat.
Running start.
Like, just gone. Like, through the bars. Like,
that's funny. We're back in the... What's up?
What?
Bobby, as the actor goes, he was pushed away.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got put on that list for being a liar. We're back to the party. Alonzo's entering the party. Turns everybody into a statue except for Ramona, which, again, that's a pretty awesome. He tells Ramona that he loves her, tells her to call him Wendell. Call me Wendell, Ramona.
I like Wendell.
Wendell.
They've been dating long enough to be engaged, and she didn't know his real name.
Yeah,
they've been dating long enough to be like common law spouses, I would imagine.
That's weird, right?
It is weird. He tells her she'll see his name on the marriage license, and I'm like, was that a proposal? That's the non-proposal-y proposal I've ever seen in my life.
I think they were already engaged.
They were already
refer to her as the fiance early.
Yeah. Oh, so you're saying they just didn't pull the trigger?
He said the love of his life. He didn't.
No, but he said.
But she said, "Your fiance."
Yeah. No.
He never.
He's hard to trap.
He might be jumping the gun. We don't know.
Down that Alonzo, that Wendell.
The whole relationship is complicated, but I think we figure it out in the end.
Yeah.
So
where we are.
Kind of wrapping it up at the end of the episode. They wrap it up quickly too, by the way. There's no messing around this last scene.
We gotta go.
Alonzo leaves the ship with Ramona. Nice happy ending. Karen says bye to Julie. but she still has a scarf on her head. But then she's like, I'll take it out. I don't need it anymore.
And no one says anything because they can't see it.
Right. Because we don't even know what you're talking about, Karen. She gives both Gopher and Doc a smooch and tells them to flip a coin for her. And I wrote, didn't we already do this?
Yeah.
Didn't we just flip for it last night?
Solid kisses on the lips, by the way.
Yeah, it's a little.
Both solid.
Doc grabs the coin. Is that a single? Is that how that works? Is kiss on the lips, is that a single?
I mean,
like a double is this, and the home run is this, and the whole hooking up terminology. Is a kiss and lip? Does that even register in the baseball analogy?
So, right?
Like deck.
I don't know.
Missing out is a single, isn't it?
Box, and then you're not even in the box. You're on deck.
I don't know.
It's like a single smooch, isn't it? Gotcha. Doc grabs the coin out of the air, which is a pretty baller move too, and says, "Some guys never learn." And the first thing I thought of when he pulled that coin out of the air is when Kevin blew out Dan's birthday candles. Like, it's just such a rude thing to do.
But the difference is we got a freeze frame.
Oh, we did get a freeze frame.
So unlike the birthday candle thing, which I had forgotten about and was absolutely hilarious.
It's amazing.
Do you think Julie ever found out that her friend tried to kill herself last night?
No.
No.
So that's not gonna get addressed.
Who would have told her?
Exactly. No, the
Bobby,
kid.
He would just lie about it.
Bobby, right? Yeah.
I
guess Lucy could have told her.
Lucy.
Are they all dating now? I mean, that was the thing. Like, did they all hook up? Like, were they together? Did she go on a date with one of them? Or I was thinking of like the after, they got off the boat.
Yeah, like, that's the whole off the boat thing.
Yeah, like what happened?
She is in a mental ward by Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they kind of dropped the ball in not creating like a spin-off episode that's like the Love Boat.
After
in this one,
Mike had that idea a couple weeks ago where it was like after the boat or off the boat.
Yeah, just to kind of where are they now?
Yeah.
I imagine Karen got off the boat feeling so much better at her scar, steps 1 foot in that taxi lane and just gets wiped out by a taxi cab.
Oh, Jesus.
Doesn't kill her, but just the scars are everywhere now.
Is she walking or is she like on a bike?
She's walking and she just gets, run over and backed over and run over and backed over. Yeah. And she's just like, I need a giant scarf.
I think she goes and, lets go of that scarf. And then she's just like,
that's it.
Just picking up all these dudes and stuff. Like,
she moves to Thailand.
Like feeling good, pointing at dudes.
Got her confidence.
Yeah, she got her confidence back.
Yeah.
And that's it for this week's episode, adventure.
Thank God. Totals and a recap for this week. King of the Mountain. This is not the best episode, but it's not the worst episode, and I think that's okay, right? It's like a middle episode.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Buddy and Tanya,
really
did you guys, out of the 3 storylines, was there like, how many of the 3 storylines were good, do you think, out of the 3?
I thought they were all equal. They were all just very dramatic. Like you start off like Bobby, the liar, Karen, Vincent Price. That one was like, all right. I just like Vincent Price.
I really like Bobby's deal. Because I feel like he came across, like when they first introduced him, he came across as like kind of like a little bit of a shit. But then you learn that like, he was going through all this stuff with his mom, dad, and
Yeah. It's all right.
That one definitely had the least. Like, that had the least airtime, I would say, out of the 3, right? Like,
I would think so. Significantly.
Well, it definitely did. But then they also like opened with it and closed with it.
Yeah.
So it held weight.
It was a wild episode. The fact that there was that much like suicide stuff and like divorce stuff.
Yeah. Like it was kind of heavy, like from an emotional standpoint with all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I will say the last episode that we had that was one writer, it all kind of tied in together at the end. This one I assumed because it was the Halloween, I thought it would have more of a tie-in, but it really didn't. It was really three separate things just written by one person.
I guess if you kind of like take away all that stuff, it's kind of actually a little bit boring.
Yeah.
There were like 3 separate stories.
Yeah. It was barely like it kind of was Halloween, but it wasn't overtly Halloween. Like there was the party, but like, so.
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier, where we were talking about like taking off our costumes and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, maybe we should like wait till they have the actual like Halloween party at the end. And then we're like, oh wait, that's like towards the end of the episode. Yeah. Fuck that. No way.
Yeah. And that's kind of how their Christmas episode was too. It was Christmas, but there wasn't a ton of Christmas till the end. So yeah, I would say definitely not the best, definitely not the worst. And we have learned to be happy with that because we've definitely gotten some garbage.
Yeah.
Captain of the week.
Fun, regardless.
Captain of the week, best of the week, Mike.
A captain of the week for me is Julie this week. I have to say that just because who was more supportive? Who tried to help her friend out more than Julie? I go Julie for this, for that one on this episode.
Good for you, because you were coming in hot against Julie.
Yeah.
Tanya, captain of the week, best performance or best thing about this week?
I think Bobby's teeth.
Bobby's wooden teeth. Poor Bobby.
And that close up. I mean, that was just really impressive. I don't know if I've ever seen that on TV ever before or since. Like,
that's funny.
They were really.
They were jacked.
Like their heads were like. Yeah.
So it's like his lying was his second worst problem.
Yeah, like it was. Yeah, I can't get over that. Yeah, so yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Buddy, captain of the week.
It's tough. I'm not going to go Bobby's teeth.
George Washington is wooden teeth.
Jeez Louise. Frankenstein Isaac.
Yeah, that was really good. That was really good. I'm gonna go. I was gonna go.
Flash, Isaac, beer topper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We always talk about it. Isaac's always great. They don't give him anything to do.
Nope.
Like, I'm gonna go with Ramona.
Okay.
I thought she was really good. She had a lot of sass.
Good. Yeah.
I like that she had sass. Also, shout out Lucy.
Shout out Lucy.
Lisbon Lucy. Let's see. Walk the plank. Worst of the week.
Sorry.
Like worst of the week.
Worst of the week?
Yep.
Oof. I mean, you know what I want to say, but I'm trying not to say it. I would say worst of the week's Alonzo. He just kind of sold out Ramona, said one thing, did a complete opposite, kind of feel like he sort of, when times were bad, he just didn't want to move forward with their relationship. He was just crappy to Ramona. So I would say him.
It's tough but true. Con, worst of the week.
Yeah, who was terrible.
Karen's dramatic, man. She's just so like.
Can't argue with that.
She was just pathetic. There was nothing likable about her.
There really wasn't. That's the other thing too, is they didn't even like give her like, even her happy moments were just kind of wooden and.
Well, she just laughed, but her whole thing was always every time they came to her, she was like, oh, I can't, I'm so ugly,
Yeah. Buddy, worst thing this week?
The same.
Yeah.
Scarless Karen.
She sucked.
Scarless Karen.
She was annoying.
I'm I obviously Karen would be my pick too, but I'll give one to a disappointing end to Gary Collins. I'm sad to hear that was his last episode. He was so good in the first episode. We were all so surprised that he was such a good actor, and this was just kind of like
we couldn't wait for him to come back. Remember, we were like, "Oh, great, we get to see him."
Great. His wife was a dud too.
Well, I guess he really just kind of like served a role in this episode.
Yeah. And they did not give him much to do, and they gave his wife even less. So that's total.
Very familiar. Like that guy was in a ton of stuff, right?
Yeah, he hosted a talk show during the day when we were all kids that we probably all saw him on.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why we were shocked when he was a good actor, because we were like, we didn't even know he acted. And then to see him all sexed out on the deck, I was really surprised.
Jeez. Wow. Swimmer's body, no less. Good.
Yeah, like Mark Spitz. Anyway, that's Totals and Recap for this week.
All right, it's time to check the old mailbag, and we do have an email this week, Mike.
2 in a row.
2 in a row. Just to read, very supportive email. It's funny how we just came off the heels of Julie's assault via red buttons, and now we have a kissing bandit. Is this really more okay because he's younger and cuter? Also says, by the way, I love Nancy Culp in that episode. Same old Miss Hathaway with her weird judo chop moves.
We all love
email
Nancy
coming
Culp.
to us from Mindy Sue, Purser's assistant.
Thanks,
we
Mindy.
Appreciate that.
Look at us with getting emails now.
Yeah.
There goes our bit.
You're big time.
There goes our bit. Multiple emails.
I know. Anything to plug, Mike?
Hitting season. Patreon, absolutely hammered. Phillies are into the second half when this comes out, on their way to the World Series, so you can sign up there and listen to us talk about the Phillies every week.
Fantastic. You can find us on Instagram at Loveboat Project. Look for our reels that come out twice a week. Join our Facebook group, The Loveboat Project, and email us at theloveboatproject@gmail.com. But most importantly, let's not forget about YouTube. You can find us on YouTube at Loveboat Project if you want to see our smiling faces.
And
anything? What's that? And the scar, yeah.
Right, yeah, this week.
Anything about next week's episode, Mike?
So next week, we meet Stubing's daughter, who eventually becomes a full-time cast member. It was established in previous episodes that Stubing had no children, no family, other than his father and his ex-wife. So, Mike, before we watch it, how are they going to explain this?
I mean, I'm guessing Stacy had a child. He got her pregnant, went off to sea for 18 months, and then never knew, and she gave her up for adoption. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Something
that sounds about right.
That's like
Stacy.
That's a typical story.
We'll see.
Okay.
I don't know how you do it.
So you think
made it clear.
So you think it's Stacy's child?
Yeah.
Not Stubing one night stand.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
I will take the opposite just so we have something to find out. I'm very excited now to go watch it because I did not look. But that'll be our episode next time, which is a big deal because eventually that leads to our next regular cast member.
It's crazy. It's
Do you
crazy.
think she's gonna be hot?
No, she's like 9 or something.
Yeah, she's just like
9. She's a little kid. Okay.
Yeah.
That was creepy.
A little bit.
I didn't know.
Like, she's all right, Tanya. You know what I mean? She's okay. We'll see.
She's no Bobby.
She's no Bobby.
No Bobby.
And she doesn't lie. Well, listen, I want to thank you, Tanya and Buddy, both for being guests on this episode. As I said before, you are 2 of our favorite guests and 2 of our favorite people. So thank you very much for joining us this week.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for having us. Definitely.
It was awesome.
It was a good episode. I can't wait to send you guys Bobby's face on a t-shirt. So
merch store.
Look
for the URL.
Look for the wooden teeth.
Actually,
we got you guys on the merch stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I could fit his head on a t-shirt. So
Bobby.
That's what you do, like that giant Andre the Giant hand on those t-shirts. Just let it spill over.
I'm thinking like a head warm, like a bandana thing with like just the teeth.
Or a fat head you stick on the wall. Like, it's literally a fat head.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you guys so much.
Yes.
Well, until next time, we have been the Love Boat podcast or Love Boat. Wow.
It's one of those
rough landing.
Listen, this was a rough estimate. I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining, everybody.
All right. What?